SOSCAST, baby.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks, Nat. My wallet got stuck. Guys, it's one of those days around here at Valuetainment. We're having some technical difficulties. Deal with it. It's okay. We'll deal with it with a smile on our face. I give a shout out to everyone working real hard today out there in internet land out here in Valuetainment land. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, in internet land. Welcome to the SOSCAST, the sexiest financial show in the world. This is where finance meets romance.
And
Let's do a wide shout of the beautiful people that are on the panel today. Just not this one right here. Like that one, and that one. Let's not close up. Nat's back in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, my name is Adam Sosnick. You call me Soz. And with the help of these beautiful ladies and our friends out here, my goal, my intention, my purpose is to help you guys out there get paid, laid, and do it your way. You know what's going on out here. So, a lot going on in the world today. You know, sometimes when we have guests on, we talk a lot more about dating and relationships. Sometimes when we have guests on who are more business people, savvy business people, money guys, what have you, we talk a little bit more about money. But today is going to be a little different, because today is going to be a little bit more money focused, okay? Before we meet our guests, I kind of want to get into the topics, and then you guys are going to have, today we kind of had a select panel. Usually there's 10 different girls, there's guys, there's arguing. I really want to give value to the audience at home, because I want to understand the financial situations of what's going on out there in the economy a little bit better. And you don't need to be money experts to basically weigh in on your own financial situation, okay? I know you run a business, you're an entrepreneur. You know, you'll be up in the gym working on your fitness. You're an influencer. You also do what? Real estate?
Real estate, digital marketing.
Okay. You brought your husband here today. Congratulations on the new engagement and marriage. And then speaking of new engagement and marriage, Nat, anything going on with you?
Hi, I'm still here at Valuetainment on the SOSCAST, and I'm in a happy relationship.
There it is. She's happy, ladies and gentlemen. It's not me, for the record.
Yeah, it's not.
It'll never
Everybody
be
needs
me.
to crush that dream, okay?
But it is a buddy of mine.
Good.
It is a buddy of mine,
Sure.
who I love dearly.
Sure.
It's not a buddy of mine?
Yes.
I'll make it real uncomfortable here.
I know.
Love you guys out there. But anyways, welcome to the
Okay.
show. Malik, our friend, had a car issue today, so welcome to the show for his first time, inaugural debut. Our friend from Chile, Humberto Boyer.
Hey.
You already know.
Well, technically, they don't already know. That's why there's an introduction involved, Humberto.
But I'm here replacing Malik. He had some technical difficulties, but
Yeah, well, we just lowered our DEI score because it looks like we just fired a black man for a white man, but
He's not
he's
white.
Latino.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
Latino. He
Latino.
just looks super white out there.
Yep.
But let's get his mic going, because Humberto is actually very opinionated. He's actually probably one of the more red pill dude I know, but low key.
Oh,
I'm gonna regulate here.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, you got a husband in the house, bro. He's already looking dirty at you right now. So Jake, I don't know if we have a thing of the audience right now, but here's some of the conversations we're going to have today, and then we're going to meet our panel officially. So finance and romance, you know what we're all about. We're going to be talking about the reasons why couples financially fight, right? So we'll get into that. 6 money questions to ask your partner before you commit, not after you commit. We'll do a money talk. We'll find out what the ladies do for a living, what they do for work, how they budget, all that fun stuff. I'm going to be pulling information out that you probably have never discussed on camera. I'm looking at you, Nat. Maybe we'll play a game. Maybe we'll play a game at one point to see how well-versed you are at basic financial terminology.
Damn.
Sarah's looking at me like, don't call on me, please.
They don't have their phones.
Please, no Googling. You don't have your phones.
Nope.
I do.
We'll talk about family. We'll talk about kids. We'll talk about relationships for sure. We'll talk about the concept of a housewife, what that means. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll talk about whether your parents, whether that's their responsibility to save enough for retirement, or if you need to step in, like I've done with my mom, and basically help fund a retirement. 50% of the countries basically have to do that. A couple of different financial red flags we'll talk about, but just to kind of make things real weird and awkward.
Wow.
Apparently, Will Smith, he likes the sausage. Apparently.
Heard. Yeah.
Oh.
It came out?
This is breaking news.
I don't know if I broke the news because I found it on the internet, but
I thought you knew
his
from
assistant out there basically saying he walked in on him having with a
the
man.
guy,
No.
yeah.
Interesting. And then last but not least, Jeff Bezos, he owns this little small company. You maybe heard of it. It's called Amazon. I spent all my money on that. He just bought his
house in Miami.
Fiance, Lauren Sanchez, a 20 carat, $2.5 million rock.
Sheesh.
So what would you ladies do for a rock that size?
20 carat needs a wagon. That's a big.
You need
Needs
like
a
full-time
wagon.
security.
Yeah,
with
Yes.
that.
So
That's a big ring.
before we meet the ladies, let me just give a quick shout out to our sponsor. You know, this is a money show. You know, I'm all about saving that money. So one of the things I often say, my catchphrase is save that money. But why do you save? You save to invest, because a lot of people try to invest in the stock market or in crypto, and then what happens is the market goes down, they try to sell, they don't have enough cash reserves going out in the bank. Now you know they're selling at the bottom of the market. No bueno, as my friends in Miami like to say, right, Padrino? So, but when you start investing, I think it's very important that you diversify your assets. As like people like to say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So what are the eggs and what are the type of baskets we're talking about? How I made my money after saving it was I pumped a lot of money into a 401k, to index funds, into mutual funds, into ETFs, but then I diversified into crypto, into REITs, which is real estate investment trusts, which has gotten crushed lately. That's why you diversify, ladies and gentlemen. And then different commodities like precious metals and, boom, wait for it, gold. So American Hartford Gold is a company we've teamed up with. PBD has had gold for years. If like a brick of gold like this, I mean, this is how big a brick is. If you felt it, it would literally weigh you down. Like an ounce of gold. It's like, oh shit, this is heavy. But it's basically stabilizes your portfolio in the essence of a downturn. So basically what American Hartford Gold will do is they'll ship physical gold and silver, for that matter, directly to your door, or they can set you up with a gold IRA. IRA is an individual retirement account. If your company isn't sponsoring a 401k, you want to do it on your own, like a Roth IRA or just a general IRA, you can actually incorporate gold into that. But most importantly, it's all about credibility. They've earned a 5-star rating from thousands of reviews and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, the BBB. I usually test you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the BBL, Nat.
Oh,
not the
man.
Brazilian butt lift. But anyway, shout out to American Hartford Gold. They're awesome. They're a great company. We've worked with them for 6 months now, I would say. But they have the VT deal, and here it is. So take note. They give you up to $5,000, $5K in free silver on your first order if you qualify. If you click the link in the description, Humberto, I know you're new to this game, but I know you how to add links. You can add a link to American Hartford Gold in the description, or you can call if you're old school and like picking up the phone like I used to have to do when I was a kid and I want to talk to girls. You would call 866-443-6361, or if you're new school, you can just simply send a text to 65532 with the code word SOS, S-O-S. See that is? Even if you're a horrible speller, just look at the screen. You can see an SOS there. Save our souls, save our ships, all that. Again, if you're old school, call the number 866-443-6361 or text SOS to 65532. Thank you, American Hartford Gold. With that being said, let's meet the lovely ladies on our panel. So, businesswoman, restaurateur, hell of a model Cuban American,
I love
Laura Padrino in the house. She owns Padrinos. Give us your story. I know you're married, you've got kids, you're also a restaurateur. What do we need to know about you?
Married for 10 years, 2 daughters. And yeah, 3rd generation, family-owned collection of Cuban restaurants. All my grandmother's recipes, and now my brothers and I are in charge, just honoring their legacy.
Now you're running the business, you're cooking, you're out there like in front of doing the hostessing?
Not cooking or hostessing. I haven't done cooking, but I've done hostessing. But no, what we say is we're working on the business, not in the business. So we'll be in there. Sometimes we're in there, but no, we're working
on the business. How many restaurants do you have?
5 locations.
Where are they in South Florida?
So one right here down the street on US 1 in Fort Lauderdale.
Whoa, how are we not there yet?
I don't know.
Can we just do like a collab the next time here? Get some plátanos and some arroz con pollo and some ropa vieja. We go out there. You don't know what I'm talking about there, okay? You hang out with your Jamaican patties.
Oh my gosh.
Let's turn her up a little bit. Jorge, turn Laura up a little bit, but go ahead. So Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, one down the street. Like I said, we have Hallandale Beach, Dania Beach, Plantation, and West Boca.
On Hallandale Beach Boulevard, the one in
Hallandale Beach
Hallandale, the
Boulevard.
strip mall over there near the...
Right before the bridge to go over to the beach. Yeah,
right after
Hallandale
Gulfstream
Beach.
and the bridge.
Yes.
For our international audience, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a
Hallandale
good
Beach Boulevard.
location.
Yeah, we've been there
There you
for
go.
a long time.
And you've been married 10 years.
10 years.
Two
daughters,
kids.
2 kids.
How old
yeah.
are these young girls?
8 and going to be 5 soon. Yep.
Wow, congratulations. And what does your
Thank
husband
you.
do for work?
You know what? Recently, he just started. He's on with us. So he does sales with us.
You hired your husband?
Yes.
Now you're the boss of your husband.
We work in partnership. It's
by that.
Well, I mean, my last name is Padrino, so but no, we work together.
You work for me now, hubby.
No.
What did he do before that?
We worked together. He worked for a Spanish company. So it was really
Spanish
complex.
company. What does that mean?
It was really complex. So what they do is they sell the machinery that weighs and packs produce, and so like all the mesh. So when you see avocados and like limes, lemons, that mesh. You know that?
Yeah.
Somebody has to sell that. So he would sell that mesh and also the film that gets like packaged with. So it's really complicated.
Well, that sounds like a Spanish company to me.
Like
no
so
doubt.
they're based out of Spain, right? Yeah. So
they're
based out of Spain.
Spanish.
they're based out of Spain.
company,
He is
see?
Spanish, so that's why he.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
All right, trivia question. Nat, what continent is Spain in? This is a layup. What continent
Oh, Nat, you
is
know that.
Spain in? Girls, do not give her the answer. What continent? I'll accept 2 answers.
No.
The amount of continents in the world. Nat, get off your phone.
No,
Come on, Nat.
you know.
Everyone knows that you don't know the answer now if you don't look it up.
Okay, so my husband is European.
Yes. Your husband's European. So what
he was
continent
born,
do you
he was
think
born
Spain
in,
is in?
He was born
Nat,
in
look up.
Spain.
Nat, look
He's
at
in
Amber.
Europe.
What?
It's in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me see what's on your phone right
I
now.
couldn't leave.
SOSCAST on my
Yeah.
phone.
I couldn't leave.
There's a map of Europe on her phone, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't need
Okay.
to know everywhere. I just need to know when I'm going there.
That's true. That's true. Now, Nat,
We can find our
if you were going to
answers.
go to Europe and you went to Europe, you ever been to Europe?
Yes.
You've been there. Okay, so that means you've been to one continent.
Yes.
How many other continents are there?
In the world?
Yes, in the world.
What do you mean? There's just
Can I help her,
there's
please?
different countries.
Listen, Nat, I'll give you a trivia question.
Like, why does this matter?
Are there 5, 7, 10, or 12 continents?
There's a song growing
I
up.
think there's
who else
7.
is? 7.
Yes, congratulations,
job,
Nat.
You keep me here for the jokes.
Let me tell you something about Nat, just because it looks like I'm being critical of her. The one thing she sucks at is geography. Horrible. If I can add something to that, it's math.
Yeah.
So anytime the geography or math comes up, I know that there's an
It's a
easy
pass.
layup
Yeah.
joke there. But what Nat is great at is she's loyal, she's actually cunning, she's witty, she's cool, she's lovely, I don't know, are you a good cook? I've never seen you cook.
I'm actually a good cook.
Okay, you're a good orderer.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, there's a lot
She's
to
good at
love
her
about
job.
Nat.
She got us all here.
There's
so
a-
she's
she's
good at her
al- she's
job.
always she's great. There's a reason Nat has a position here. She's awesome. But geography and math,
That ain't her
no
thing.
bueno.
Okay, good thing is that you can literally Google your answers. And
Yeah.
if not, you can find somebody to get the answer.
4 plus 4, go.
I can't.
Oh, no.
What? You, you know you're not confident. You're like 8.
I thought you
Yes.
said times for a second. I'm like, times.
All right, 4 times 4,
16.
16.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
The
right.
confidence in that. Anyway, we'll get back to Nat. Nat, thank you for being such a great sport.
Thanks. I actually
You know
got
how
some
awesome
jokes
you
for
are.
you in the chat. You want to hear a joke? I got a joke for you.
Anyway, let's get to
Joke
Sarah.
says, what's the difference between what does Adam and farmers have in common? Anybody? Anybody? They both need hoes to stay in business.
Yes. That's true. That's true.
There you go. Right back
Well,
at you.
shout out to all the farmers out there and their hoes, no doubt, and their animals, their pigs, their horses, their cows,
Chicken.
and their buffalo. Every guy has to, take a ride on a buffalo every once in a while. Anyway, moving right along. Sarah's in the house. I never would know whether to call you Sarah Elizabeth or Sarah Wilt or just Sarah or Mascara. What do you want to go by?
Sarah's good. I mean, or Sarah Elizabeth. I don't really use my last name ever. So
Okay,
people
so I
just
just-
know Sarah Elizabeth. That's
Sarah
like my
Elizabeth's in
name.
the house.
Yeah.
Sarah, last time you were here, you were single. Any updates?
I'm still single.
You're still single.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last time you were here, you had a job. Any updates?
A job?
Yeah.
Or you worked for yourself and you like work on?
No, not. This is her chance to talk. You already failed this continent question. Let Sarah talk.
No, I don't have a job.
You had a job. You work, don't you?
I have like clients,
See?
but I don't have a job.
Okay, what do you do for work?
I do social media management and digital marketing. So I sell digital products on like Etsy, and I sell a digital course that teaches people.
So let me rephrase this. What's your job?
Selling digital products.
Okay, there we go. That's what you do for work. Work is a job, a profession, what have you.
Yeah.
Why is that so complicated?
I don't know. I thought you meant like, do I go to work?
Yeah,
Like,
you
do
work,
I-
you
do
just
I-
don't go to
do I,
work.
like,
You work.
clock in?
You work from home.
For myself? Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
thought
your
you
job,
meant, like,
Sarah.
Like
do you
go-
work for someone?
Yeah, you don't have an employer.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's self-employed.
I
You're
mean,
an
I don't have
entrepreneur.
an employer.
You're an entrepreneur,
I would call myself self-employed, but yeah.
self-employed. Anyway, give a little lofty expectations right there. There it is, right there. Okay, so single, still kind of maybe also kind of has a job, but she's self-employed. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, you look great, by the way. Like
Thanks.
you're working on your fitness.
Yeah, been gymming.
You've been working with Aspen.
You know what? No, we're on totally opposite schedules. But
Really?
yeah, I work out early in the morning, and she's like a late at night person. You
I
could
totally
not
had
get
it
me to
backwards
work
at
out
the two of you.
at night
Okay.
to save my life.
All right, let's meet Aspen. She's been on the show. This is her third time. You're a fitness influencer.
Trying to be.
You do fitness.
I do fitness.
And you try to influence people to lose weight.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, you're
Thank
a
you.
fitness influencer. Have you done one post on the internet?
Yeah.
There it is. Definitely an influencer, no doubt. Tell us about your fitness career.
So currently I'm working on my NASM. I'm going to be a personal trainer.
You're NASM? You're going to space? What are you doing?
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
it's one of the hardest personal training like certificates you can get.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Well,
tough.
congratulations.
Thanks.
And your relationship status?
Happily taken.
Happily taken. Is that
Yeah.
new?
No, from
Okay.
last time.
From last time. What's her name?
His.
His name. My bad. I don't know.
Her
A
would
boy
be
can
me.
dream. A boy can
The
dream.
hoes in business.
Yeah.
His name is Aaron.
His name is Aaron. I like
Yeah,
guys that start with A.
It's A and A.
A&A, Aspen and
Yeah.
Aaron. Dun, 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 dun. Well, congratulations. Speaking of
you.
happily married, Amber Quinn's back.
Hi.
Amber, last time you were here, you were flexing on him out there with the with the shiny diamond ring, and now what?
Now married.
Now you're married. That's
Yeah.
how that works. Congratulations.
Thank
when did
you.
that happen?
A few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the wedding. Tell us about the guy.
Small,
I'd love to meet him one
intimate,
day.
you know. I think everyone thought I was going to have a huge, crazy, big wedding. And I had like 30 people, small, intimate at my church.
Nice.
Perfect.
You're a God-fearing, church-going Christian or what?
Yeah. Christian. I go to Church by the Glades. I love them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
imagine having a big wedding?
I think I did originally, but the stress and the craziness that comes with like wedding and me thinking I had to entertain everyone at my wedding,
Yeah.
I didn't want any part of it.
So you just kept it simple. Kiss
Simple.
principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
Great.
Nice.
There it is. So congratulations.
Thank
Round
you.
of applause for Amber. We listen. We love to see people getting married. We believe in marriage. Now I know the chat's gonna be like, well, when you gonna get married, mother sucker? I'm working on it, guys. But I had my wallet stolen, so now I can't pay for shit, and I don't have an ID. So it's hard to get married without an ID. I think I might not renew my ID because you need to have an ID for a marriage license.
Oh God.
So maybe that's my game plan.
You gotta get your cards on your phone.
plan.
We'll see. We're ducking these people out here. Anyway, we've met Nat already. We know what's going on with Nat.
Howdy.
Nat's back. But speaking of married, speaking of men out there, Humberto, what's your story? You've been married how long now? Give us you've been working with Valuetainment. You're helping produce SOSCAST and multiple shows here on Valuetainment. Give us your story. This is your time to shine,
It's my
baby. Turn
time
them
to
up,
shine.
Jorge.
Well, it's been a year. We got locked up together for the pandemic, and after a year of being locked up, I didn't want to kill her. She didn't want to kill me, so we just tied the knot. That's
I
what
love
it is.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to kill your partner. That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the camera, buddy. We see
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, we can see
Sorry.
you. All right, so give us, because look, we won't spend a lot of time on this because we want to get to the show, we want to get to the topics, we want to address the audience. But you have a very strong opinion on the male-female dynamics. What will you be willing to share with the audience and how it works in your household?
Oh, dude. Man provides. Woman does everything else. You know, kids, food, whatever needs to be done around the house. And, so the man can be in peace. You know, like I grew up in a family, very traditional one. My dad did all the work. and my mom did all the kid stuff, having the house together. And I don't know, like you want to make real money, you need to work extra time and put your head into it. And if you're worrying that if you're going to have dinner at home, like it's really hard to get your head in the game.
Mm-hmm. The only caveat to that is if you want to work your ass off and you want to have dinner, sometimes it helps to have a hot Cuban wife that has a restaurant or two.
True.
And you don't have to work too hard to go find a dinner.
That's even better.
That's always good.
Even better.
I'm just saying that. But I know you've said before, like you wake up in the morning, your breakfast is ready to go, your lunch is packed. By the time you get home at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, whatever, she's there, dinner's ready. It's very traditional. How does that work?
Well, the thing is that we have a plan together. Like, we married for the long run, like until I die. She can remarry after. I mean,
or she kills you.
Oh, she kills me. But when you're working together towards, like an objective, that's the only way to do it. Yeah, I don't want to get really into it. Like, I want to save some for later.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go full red pill right here.
Okay, that's a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that, Humberto. Thank you, and thank you guys for being tuned into the show. Smash that like button if you're liking what we're doing here. Sub to the channel. And Nat is going to be attempting to read your super chats. You know that Hooked on Phonics worked for her. She's great. I say the same spiel every single time. What a man does for a woman is a lot different from what a woman will do for a man. When I met Nat, she was homeless, penniless, shoeless, toothless. Now she toeless out here. But I said, you're great, you're loyal, you're awesome. Clean your little pretty ass up. That's it. You're on the show now. No woman would ever do that for a man, but that's why I love Nat. Is we've cleaned her up. We've got her a new set of teeth. We got her some shoes.
Those are my teeth.
And those are your teeth. That's true. That's the one thing I said that was actually true. Those are your teeth.
Okay. I had this girl come up to me. She was like, "It's so sweet what Adam did for you." And I was like, "What did he do for me?" And they're like, she was like, "Didn't he take you off the streets and give you shoes?" I'm like, "No, bitch.
Yes.
I came from a great home.
Listen.
I had all my teeth, all my shoes."
I will perpetuate the story till the end of time. Truth be told, she comes from a great family. Marvin and Dee, her parents, and she's got 2 great sisters.
Yes.
But, I like talking shit, and that's just what it comes down to. So it perpetuates a narrative of what we got going on here, of what men will be willing to do for women. Yeah. No woman is going to a man in a trash can and being like, "Hey, you're really good looking, trash can man. Let's go. We clean you up. You're living with me now." It doesn't happen. We've got a guy will do that for a woman.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
JP? Mm-hmm. When he met Amber, she was homeless, toothless, penniless. Look at that. Look at that.
He tries
Look
to
at that.
He's like,
now look
she
at her
was
now.
homeless. I helped her out. I'm like, no, I wasn't. Yeah.
Listen, let the man live, baby.
Right? Yeah.
Let him dream.
Tell the story.
Yeah.
You're happily married now to a good-looking dude, tatted up, gold chain. Let him live his life. Fuck. Anyway, with that being said, let's get ready to start the show.
Yes.
Thanks, Nat. Any point that you want to chime in on anything that's going on there,
I will.
feel free, unless they're talking shit about me.
I will.
Now, if they're talking
especially.
shit about you, read it aloud.
Of course.
That's
I will
my
keep
girl.
that in mind.
That's my girl. Anyway, let's get into the conversation today.
Let's.
So the whole premise of SOSCAST is where finance meets romance, where money and relationships intertwine. But it is often noted that the 2 most common disagreements in a relationship are, wait for it, drum roll, sex and money.
Yikes.
Okay? Finance and romance. I think we're onto something here with the SOSCAST thing, with the finance meet the romance. So it's the top 2 reasons that couples fight. Here's a couple stats for you. 40% of couples who share finances, argue regularly over money, and 90% of couples who this particular person that wrote the article, she's a financial analyst, who she sees financial psychiatrist. She says that that 90% of couples who are unequal in their financial literacy, understanding money, tend to argue more frequently. So, ladies, open-ended question. Here we go. Everyone has one of their little sticks?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. This is a new element of the SOSCAST. They increased our budget. We spent $12 on sticks. Congratulations. So money will be green.
Yay.
Okay.
Sex, dating, relationship, all that will be red. Oh. What do you ladies fight about in your current relationship, or if you're not in one, previous relationship, what do you fight about more often? And don't be like, fighting, disagreements, arguments, all in one. So on count of 3, throw up green if it's money, throw up red if it's relationships. 1, 2, 3, go. Hold them up high.
You can always have more
money.
We don't argue about
Stop
either.
it.
Swear.
Laura?
I wouldn't say argue, but if I had to pick one, it would be like, you can always have more money.
No money or...
No, this is a plead the fifth. This first of all, it's like super intimate topip, but we agree on most things. So
okay.
I'm gonna say
you're saying you never fight over money.
It's not up there. No, we agree when it comes to money and finances. We're both pretty fiscally conservative, and
is that because you're his boss and you don't want to create waves with your new employee?
That came like a few months ago.
I'm
We've
kidding.
been married for a while.
Okay, 10 years. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you avoid money fights? How about that? Let's flip this on the positive.
Let's do that. Okay, how about that? I prefer that. Let's talk
Go ahead.
positive. Okay, so from the beginning, obviously, out the gate, we talked about our finances. We merged finances like really soon. Well, we got married really soon.
Joint bank accounts?
Yeah, like when we were married, right when we got married, we did. But even going in, he knew how much I had or didn't have, and I had a car I had payments on, and he was just like, he couldn't fathom having car payments. So he's like, you're paying that off. I told him, that's fine, I'll pay it, but that means I'll go into this marriage with $0, zero debt, but $0. And so started like that. And the thing is, we're really fortunate. We literally paid off our house, so we have right now very little payments, and so maybe that's why also we don't argue about it, because we don't have stressors.
Mortgage is paid off.
Mortgage is paid. Our cars are paid. Yeah,
you have kids. Do they go to public school or private school?
They go to private school.
They go to private school. Okay.
Yeah.
So was that been a challenge? Is that something new? Has it always been private school?
It's always been private school.
So the bills are paid, money's good.
That's why, yeah, it doesn't. Okay. That part doesn't come up.
But he shifted careers recently. So
he did.
Was that?
No, it was never like a stressor thing. No, to be honest, I wanted him to like his job. That was the thing. I said, I don't care what you do. I don't care how much you make. I just want you to like it and be happy. And then it just worked out that the person that I had doing the job that he now took over was doing a terrible job. And I just looked at him one day like, you could be doing this so much better. Yeah. And so he has been, and he's doing.
What a blessing to have a rich, hot wife that says, I don't care what you do. I don't care how much you make. But the reality is that's sort of the anomaly.
It really is. And that's why I don't want to speak to this as in like, as not that it's not comparable. Everything I say is achievable.
Yes.
Life's not easy, but it is simple. You follow certain guidelines, and it's not that tough. But I would not say that it's like a normal situation. Ours is not normal.
Totally understand that. Totally appreciate that. And I know that we're not trying to cause any divisions with you and your husband at all.
And I'm not going to answer the sex one, so just don't even.
No worries on that. That's not where I'm going.
All right.
But I do have this question
Tell
for
me.
you. So address it, please.
Okay.
You're very feminine, right? You're lovely. But you're also the CEO of your company, right? Like you're running. How do you ensure that your husband still feels like a man, feels like the provider, still feels like the protector, without sort of feminizing the man, even though he kind of works for you right now? How does that work?
It's a fantastic question.
See, this is what we do around here.
It's very astute. Yeah, it's a great question. So I do give off that alpha energy. I've been called what do they keep calling me, a bulldog, and like I'm that kind of when in business. At home it's really different. So I'm involved with all these things, but he has made it clear it's like 9 to 5, which I mentioned this last time. This kind of goes outside of that, but I consider this work. So, and that's the thing, after 5 I'm home and I'm like mom and I'm wife, and on the weekends I'm that same kind of a mom and wife, and he's over all the finance. When I say he's over finances, that means I have no clue where money goes at all. Like he takes care
controls the finances.
Oh yeah. Like I make money, but to be honest, I'll ask him how much did I make last year. I'll ask him how much.
Straight up.
Yeah. Like I don't look at my check. He knows more of how much I make than I do.
Is he better at handling money than you? Is that why?
It's just yeah. And I hold money with like a loose fist. I'm not super
Who's
caught
more
up
of a
in
saver? Who's more of a spender in the relationship?
It could be both of us. We're both kind of impulsive in that if we see something, we kind of like jump on it, but then one of us, somebody's always holding the other one back. But no, it's not that I'm not great at it. I prefer to trust him with it. And I do, so I don't have to worry about that.
So last question for you, and then I want to get Amber's take, because she's the only other married person on here. Then we'll get the 2 hot single girls' take. Well, no, you got a man, but not married. What's the key to a successful relationship? 10 years in, 2 kids, you're making money, he's handling the money, you're a bulldog boss babe during the day, but you kind of turn on your feminine switch
Trad wife at night. Yeah.
Yeah. How does that dynamic work? What's the key to that success? Because I think a lot of guys will be like, yo, that's dope. Hot, cool, great, awesome. Wife makes money. I handle the finances.
Yeah.
She understands male, female dynamics, needs to feel man. Give some insight to how that would work.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Amber said, I mean, I'm also a Christian, so I mean, God at the center. Like, if you're not doing this for you, there has to be a higher calling and like a reason, because it's obviously marriage is really like challenging, but you have to be like, this is a commitment, this is a covenant, we're not getting out. So there's that element of it that just kind of, it could cover a multitude of sins. But the other thing is, in general, like how I deal with work and life is just prioritizing. Like, you just have to have that in order. If I put my work like that pit bulldog like all the time, this whole thing will be blown up. I could be a terrible wife, I could be a terrible mother, and I can focus on work more, but I intentionally don't. And in the same way, I can do my family more, and then the restaurant would suffer, or the business, or whatever, all my other stuff would suffer. But it's a matter of prioritizing and balance. But it truly is, you have to have everything stacked up the right way and make your decisions based off of that.
Bonus question, what's your advice to women out there? Because there's no secret, women want to make their own money these days. Like, the genie's out the bottle, you're not putting it back in, like the whole get back in the kitchen, that narrative is done. Women want to go out there, but women still at the same time want to have a family, they want to have kids. I get it. There is a delicate balance, whereas men, we get it. Like, go out there, get into the world, sharpen your spirit, kick some ass, make some freaking money, come home, kiss your wife, kiss your kids. Like, I get that. What's your advice to the boss babes out there that also would like to have a family? Because it's hard to do both. Like you said, you have to boss babe during the day, but then switch it off to trad wife at night. So what's your advice to the women out there?
I think, look, I'm definitely all about trad wife. So I'm good with people staying at home with their kids. It's absolutely a full-time job. So I'm all for that. My situation is different, again, because I am truly, what I feel is honoring my grandparents' legacy. And that's that kind of commitment I have is bigger than me. It's like a generational thing that I'm doing it because of that. But my advice is, you can do both, so long as, like I mentioned, you prioritize, and you don't. The career people are just like, okay, it's all or nothing, and I got to do that. And my husband and I have gone through this. There's seasons, but they don't last forever. The other thing is, when you get caught up in that season and that rip current of, okay, I'm just doing work for that long, one thing will suffer. So we've had moments where I'm working a lot during COVID, when nobody wanted to work because they didn't want to work. I was serving tables and I was working like a good bit, but we understood that was a season, and it's for a bigger picture, right? So it's for the legacy of the restaurant, and for my kids to eventually get it, and their cousins, for the fourth generation to get it. But I would say it's definitely about prioritizing, and you can do both, but you have to do, I guess, both well in that balance, that you're not just hyper focused just on the business.
Awesome.
And my advice would be, if you're going to do one, do wife mother as a woman.
If you're going to do one, prioritize the wife 100%.
And the mother. This is what we talked about last time I was here. Then you're going to end up like the Chelsea Handlers.
Not a good look.
It's not a good look. And you're going to be miserable in your whatever age you want to put there, in your 40s, 50s, whatever it is, because ultimately we are wired to want children and to procreate, and that's where the greatest joy in your life comes from.
Is both of your parents married, and your grandparents married?
Yes, and yes.
Still married. So did you get kind of like an example of how that dynamic was run, and maybe that influenced how you kind of shop for your husband? Or your husband shop for you, or whatever?
My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband, what he liked of me was that he did see something different and traditional, which is funny when you're talking about like dodging women, and like kind of, I feel like what's been after you is like kind of gold digging chicks, and like that's what you're not a fan of. What
are you psychoanalyzing me right now?
When you say you're like this and you're like all this, my husband, funny enough, when we met, he didn't see that in me. He like in 2 seconds was like, oh my gosh, I love you, because he saw that I wasn't like that. And so yeah, I think that he saw like the traditional nature of me, my family, our whole dynamic. Gotcha. And maybe, but what I've said a bunch of times, this girl that works with us and that I mentor, she's like, you have a different view of marriage than I do, because your parents are married. And I said, no, we have a different examples, but we don't have a different view. We all want the same thing. We all want what my parents have, right? We all want what I'm trying to achieve. Our examples, you have to create an example that you want. Just because your parents did something doesn't mean you have to do it. And if it's not what you want, they're the anti-example, right? Or create another example. make the role models that you want. They don't have to be the people around you. You don't have to follow that, generational curse, if you will. So, I mean, my parents were great examples, but you have to have hard work yourself into it.
Guys, Padrino's Cuban restaurant and relationship coaching coming to a town near you. Respect to you. So, Amber, let me go with you, as your husband just kind of walked out the room right now.
You can free to talk now.
You also didn't answer the question because you said that you guys don't fight, which is, quite frankly, fucking refreshing, and I don't even know how that's feasible to me. How do you not fight about dating, relationships, money? How does that work? Why are you so confident that you don't fight? And how can you ensure that it doesn't happen moving forward?
So I think being really honest in your relationship and talking about everything, from the beginning, I've never been nervous to talk about money with him. Even I take care of my family. So like you were saying about like retiring your mom, I fully pay like my mom's rent and take care of her and my siblings. So I had to be comfortable with talking with money because I don't talk to my family about money. I'm like, okay, I can help you guys out, but like my mom will never know how much I make. I'm just
That's intentional? Why?
I just don't want, I don't know. I feel like then it's like, oh, we need more help, or oh, we need that. You know what I mean? So even certain...
Don't bite the hand that feeds you,
yeah,
mama.
like I just keep finances to myself. But with my husband, it was from the like beginning. He was that person I could be excited, like, oh, I got this job, I made this much money, I booked this, company. So we've always been very upfront about finances. So we don't really argue about things like that.
Gotcha. What does your husband do for work?
He was in medical sales, and then now he's into like crypto and things like that.
Oh. He's one of the crypto bros.
Trading, yeah.
Gotcha. So you said that you're very upfront and open with your now husband. You guys been together how long collectively?
Like 5 years.
Okay, so at the beginning, how quickly were you full disclosure with him, and how quickly was he full disclosure with you? Meaning like, here's what I do, here's where I'm at, here much money I make, here are my issues, like open book. That's I don't think a lot of people are willing to do that in the first 3, 6, 9, 12 months. How quickly did that happen for you guys?
I mean, it wasn't definitely on the first date, like, so let me show you my financials.
Here's my checking account
like,
on
here
the
we
first
go.
date, right.
But I've always been doing things for myself, an entrepreneur-like mindset, and so is he. So I think from the beginning, he just saw that mindset, like, I wasn't the one saying, like, so, like, how much money do you have? Like, I wasn't trying to get something from him or be that, like, gold digger. I took his knowledge of, like, being a business owner and things like that. So I want to say maybe 3 months into us dating, I was just like, this is what I have in the bank. These are my goals. Like, this is where I want to go. I wasn't where I was 5 years ago. I definitely was, like, working a 9-to-5 job. So it was definitely different.
So when you, obviously there's a big difference between just starting out, dating, we move in, all that. Now you're married.
Yeah.
So what was the most difficult conversation before the actual marriage? Meaning, like, was there a prenup talk? Was it like, all right, like, all our cards are on the table now. Like, we're getting married here. It's not just dating. What was that conversation like?
So we didn't do a prenup, but I was the one that brought up prenup.
Oh.
And, like, I was a little nervous at first. I'm like,
oh, yeah, I bet.
Like, is he going to get the wrong idea if I bring this up? Everyone's so like, prenup. And I had just talked to other business women, and, like, I've gotten advice that it was very important because I've had friends that run $1 million businesses, and they go through a divorce, and their husband take a lot of their money.
The husbands take a lot of their money?
Yes, Adam.
No, I don't. I'm not too familiar with these scenarios.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Enlighten me, because 98% of divorces, women are the ones collecting alimony.
Well, I mean, if it's opposite and your wife is,
so you're part of the 2% camp.
Yeah,
you make more money than your husband.
No, currently no. Okay. But, like, I have real estate and things like that, so I'm like, I don't know. I want to be safe. It wasn't like I'm planning for, the worst, which is not what I'm planning, you know what I mean? But trying to protect myself, I guess, that was something in the beginning. That's
kind of the point of a prenup, yeah.
Yeah, but we ended up talking, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. It was just a choice.
So what was because it sounds like you were really grappling with this.
Yeah, I was in between.
What was the deciding factor? You're like, let's roll the dice.
Honestly, it was just all the paperwork and getting the lawyer and
The
all
old
that type of
paperwork
stuff.
thing.
I was like, nah, like it's
Sounds
fine.
complicated.
We love each other. Let's just get married. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
I would advise against it.
You would advise against what?
If you're seriously thinking you're going to marry this person for life, you don't want any exits, any escape routes,
You advise against the prenup?
100%. No exit plan.
Look, Laura, I've liked everything you've said up until now.
Because you're that,
everything.
Because you think that way. The fact is, if you're going into this marriage thinking that there is no way out, or I'm not getting divorced, the only reason you would have that is because you're thinking that there is a chance. And even a 1%, even a 0.5% out is an out. You have to take it off the table.
Laura, my lovely Cuban food friend.
I know, it sounds naive. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Old school.
But there's a difference between being idealistic and being realistic. The reality is this, especially if you're a successful, wealthy dude out there, 98% of the time, the woman is collecting the alimony money or getting the divorce money, not the man, okay, just to be clear. But what? 50% of marriages fail the first time. 63% fail the second time, and third marriages, 75% fail.
I know the stats.
So if you just look at flip a coin, there's a 50% chance, if not greater, that your marriage won't work.
Be the 50 that stays together.
That's great, and I applaud that, and that's amazing. But oftentimes, it is not the man filing for divorce.
I know.
It's the woman filing for divorce.
It's a cultural thing.
So even if you're that dude that's like, I'm in it, bro. Like what's Steven Crowder, friend of ours, friend of the show.
Yeah, that was
Christian,
rough.
Conservative, traditional wife. Virgins until marriage. Even if that man is idealistic, what happens is 10 years later, the woman was not feeling it for whatever fucking reason.
But
took his money. He's worth $20 million, if not more. Homegirl walked away with tens of millions of dollars, and he's like, "Hold on, baby, I love you," and he got screwed.
I do not want to speak ill of Steven Crowder because I listened to him so much when he first was coming.
Would you agree he should have got a prenup?
That is not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
No, I'm saying I really don't want to talk bad about him, but we were talking.
Well, go ahead. Nobody's watching.
I know. Steven is responsible for a lot that went on there. I think he went a little
Crazy.
cuckoo. So I mean, he's still a smart guy and a great businessman and all these things, but I don't think he's the same person that went into this. I mean, I think fame might have got to him. All this, Steven is.
But people change over time. But how much different are you when you first got married?
I'm so much better now.
You're so much better. Okay.
No, I'm playing, but I'm just saying to say that like. All of a sudden she flipped the switch and she's different. I mean, this is not even about the prenup situation. This is just Steven changed a little bit. Like she did not just wake up one day on the wrong side of the bed and say, give me half your money.
For sure.
There was more to it there. And
I'm not here defending what happened in the relationship. I don't think we even know. What I am suggesting is that if you're that dude that's worth tens of millions of dollars or even $1 million, whatever it is, or you're that dude that's going to become super successful.
Yeah.
I think it's incumbent on most men to at least be like, we got to have this prenup.
Okay, let me make an addendum. Then I would say right now, the way the culture is, you're making a lot of points that make sense, but it's culturally right now, the toxicity is what you're speaking to and not what it should be. Yeah. And not what it might have been one point.
But Laura, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And we're talking money here.
I don't think a prenup is a bad thing. Like, I wouldn't have a problem signing one. But, and if, like, I built something significant for myself, like, as, like, you did, like, I would maybe want to protect myself, too, I guess. But also, like, don't you think a lot of marriages fail? Because, I mean, it's at the fault of the people in them. Like, I
Sarah,
feel like
say it with your chest now. I don't know. You just kind of like
I'm trying to make sense
that
of, like,
point out. What's your point?
You know, guys open up their phone and you're looking at ass cheeks all day, and
it's
you know
the worst.
you're this
I can't believe it. Anyway, what were you saying?
You're always there's always something, like, people are always looking for something better, even when they find their person. It's like in this day and age. So can you really?
So how should a man deal with that? Great point. How should a man deal with that? Is that, you know, when you got married, Instagram wasn't even a thing right now.
He had it. He canceled it. My husband's on social media.
I think that's probably a smart move.
Of course
but,
it is.
I advise most young men out there
to not be on it. For what purpose?
I'm not even saying not be on it. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I am saying is, look, I'm a little bit older, a little wiser, a little bit grayer than I was when I first got onto Instagram in 2012. But when it was like the Oklahoma gold rush, go west, young man, where basically you get onto this Instagram app, you open it up, And, you know, typically you're dealing with girls. I mean, look, I'm lucky enough to be in Miami where it's like I don't need to go travel to other cities to find hot, great chicks, you know, or let's just say hot chicks. But all of a sudden this Instagram thing comes up and you're like, oh my God, this Russian girl. Oh my God, this Asian girl. Oh my God. There's so many different, you're just like, it's like Baskin Robbins. It's like 31 flavors, but it's like 187 countries all around. For most young men, you open this app, and by the way, we weren't familiar with Facetune and whatever. I don't even know what the hell these apps are, and editing and filtering and all this stuff. And it's like, holy shit. But for most men, they're like, oh my God, these girls look amazing. But here's my advice. I would say if you don't know her, if you're not in communication with her, you've never met her, you don't have some sort of semblance of relationship with the girl, unfollow, remove. Yeah. You don't know the Czechoslovakian girl, Chelsea. You're never going to speak with her. Unfollow, maybe kiss the phone one time, say goodnight. But I would unfollow these chicks.
I would liken it to an alcoholic not going to a bar. If you can't handle it, if you feel like you're going to cheat, or if looking at that is really going to be so tempting, don't be on it. Yeah. And it's the exact same thing with every single other thing. If you have a food addiction or whatever, probably don't hit up the buffet. All these things are self-inflicted. I mean, just avoid the things on Instagram. Avoid the things that tempt you. And in a marriage, why would a guy be following all these things? Yeah. What possible good could come of it?
So, but what was your point with bringing that up? Because you brought up a great conversation right there. You were saying what?
Because you said 50% of marriages end, or whatever the stat was, and I feel like people just get married to get married a lot of times these days. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't actually, that they're not prepared for what marriage actually is, that it's a lifelong commitment, and they view it as just a piece of paper. Like, how often do you hear, like, oh, marriage is just a piece of paper? But it's so much more than that, and there's so many points that, like there's a lot of, like, and I stand pretty, like, on the red pill side of things, but the more I start to, like, okay, like, her and I have been going to church now together for, like, months, and I feel like the closer my relationship, like, grows with God, and the more I realize, like, I want a family, and I really want a husband, I really do. I feel like I was, like, brainwashed into a lot of those, like, points.
What were you brainwashed into?
There's, like, the acceptable fact of, like, oh, well, if you're rich, it's okay if you cheat, and we're going to go out and sleep with all of these women, and you're either going to deal with it or you're not. And, like, there was a lot of those, like, points that I let a lot of, like, certain people in the red pill community, like, brainwash me into thinking, like, that's okay and that's normal. And, like, I get it, whatever, men are men, a hot girl's going to walk past and you're going to look at her and, like, whatever. But I just feel like they're normalizing and, like, shoving all this stuff down people's throats to make it seem like these things are okay. And then that's why a lot of, like, marriages and stuff are failing. Because if you go back, like, our grandparents and stuff, like, they didn't have social media. They weren't drunk texting their ex or the random person they met. Like, those things weren't possible. And I feel like
they were drunk, like dialing on an old phone, like the roto dial.
Should come down and who are you calling?
Jake from State Farm.
Get off the State Farm.
Like, I feel like that's why marriages lasted back then. And now there's just all this temptation and all this crap. And, like, we live in Miami, it's like, you gotta be
I want to ask
strong.
this question to the panel. It's no secret guys are more visual creatures. Guys will go on Instagram, and these girls have just all sorts of stuff going on. How often, nobody's watching, ladies, how often do you go on and just check out hot dudes on the Instagram? No? Is that not a thing?
What?
Okay, you never done that?
What?
You never done that?
Literally, like, looking at men.
You've done that a little bit. You're a fitness girl.
I feel like
You're a fitness girl. You're checking out.
It's different if you're taking content for fitness, because then you're just showing off the gains that you had to work for, because fitness is huge. Like,
some of the hot guys,
you can't just buy that.
On the internet,
guys are showing off.
Answer this.
But if guys are, like, showing off selfies and they're, like, posing with their outfits, I think that's a little bit feminine.
It's
and for me,
too
that kind of turns me off.
That's not attractive at
when
all.
the guys, when they're, like, biting their lip,
different if they're showing off
eyes. I'm like,
yeah, girl. I'm out here. I'm hosting podcasts, girl.
Yeah, like, that's doing cocky and arrogant, and it's not good.
Adam, I see your selfie stories on there.
Cringing.
I see your selfie stories on there when you're walking through. The other day you were walking through Super Blue with the selfies on the Instagram story.
He's vlogging.
I'm not there to be hot like
Adam. You're so fat.
I'm like, hey, what's up? It's flooded in Miami, and it's fucking raining out here. Look at the water.
Oh.
Right? So relax, bro. About to get G-checked on the show. But Sarah, so when you're out there scrolling through Instagram, salivating over hot dudes, what does that feel like?
You know what? If you scroll through my feed, it's all like business and like motivational stuff. Like I really don't follow. I don't follow like influencer. I really don't care. And a lot of these girls, I see a lot of these influencers, like you see them on Instagram and then you'll see them in person at a dinner or something and you're like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, they don't look
the same.
No, not at all. Not at all.
By the way, the dating app thing is...
But you look the same.
I remember the one time...
You look great.
So during COVID...
She looks great.
Yeah, well, she's good in person and on the app. During COVID, when I moved out to Dallas to join PBD, I'd never been on a dating app in my life. Nothing, zero. I worked in nightlife my whole life in Miami. It's never been a problem meeting girls, thank God, all good. But I'm in Dallas, and I'm out there working. I'm out there grinding, okay? I was just broke up with a girl at that time, so that was done. I'm out there. I'm working like 8 days a week, putting in content, just doing everything. We started the PBD podcast. But, you know, a man does have needs from time to time. And I wasn't out there in the club, so I was like, all right, let me go on one of these dating apps and see what's up. Let me just see. It was my first time ever downloading it in 2020, and I had no clue what to expect. I'm so technically inept. Nat knows I can barely turn on the computer. I had my buddy like download the app, like put in a profile, doing it, and he's like, all you have to do is press this button, and then you can see girls. I was like, okay, button, boom. So I remember like going on the app.
What was your profile?
What's that?
I would have loved to see the profile.
It was like, you know,
I'm sauce.
Podcast host, hot, bite lip. No.
Adventurous.
But it was adventurous, ready. I don't know. It was just like, hey, my name's Adam, whatever. But I remember meeting a girl on the app. This is my first experience with this. Keep in mind. I remember meeting a girl on the app. I'm like, oh, all right, like, cool, all right, what's up? But you don't just do meetups willy-nilly style. You do a FaceTime ahead of time. I was like, all right, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, before we meet up, let's just do a FaceTime. I swear to God, this was my reaction. I was like, you know, ring, FaceTime. She picks up. I go,
You're like, is your sister there?
and she goes, oh, is something wrong? I go, no, definitely not. I go,
I'm busy.
is there lighting? What's going on? She's like, no, this is me. I was like,
no,
it's not.
I remember just like quickly exiting. I mean, I'm gonna have a little respect for a girl, not be like, you ugly bitch, you lied to me. Like I didn't do it like that. But I was like, my phone's ringing. I was it. Never met up with her in life. But that was my first indoctrination into dating apps. So I just prefer to go the other route. I have had one good experience though, where she actually looked better in person. But I would say to the young men out there, the main course is real life, and dating apps or Instagram or social media, that is like appetizers or dessert or whatever, but nothing replaces like meeting humans and human connection in real life. That's what I would say to that.
I hope so.
So, no? Humberto, you look like you want to say something right now, bro.
Oh, dude. I mean, if you're in the market, you gotta have all the sales channels. You gotta be online, you gotta be offline, you gotta be everywhere. You know, like it's hard to find a woman. You know, like don't close your options. You can find. I met my wife through Tinder.
Oh,
you met her? Jorge, turn him up a little bit because we want to hear this story.
Is Tinder the swipe one?
Tinder, they're all the swipe ones.
Yeah.
So Jorge.
They didn't exist when I
Jorge's there. I'm here.
Humberto, you met your wife on Tinder. Why don't you tell this story actually? Because you actually did an experiment where you actually. I don't know if you feel comfortable with this.
No, this is going to get me in trouble. This is for the after dark.
Yeah, we'll save that.
But listen, it's daylight savings. It's already dark outside.
Oh my God.
It's dark outside. But I must say, as a selection system, like it's like I used to meet girls outside bars, like already drunk, and they were already tipsy.
Yeah.
So like you don't make your best decisions when you're in that space.
Her or you?
Both.
He means
Okay.
Yeah, both. And you know, you can cut through the BS when you're talking on Tinder or Bumble or whatever app you had, and getting rid of her is really cheap. You know what I mean? You don't need to think about it. If you don't want to talk to her anymore, you're done. You don't have to leave the bar. You know, so you can talk to more people and then make a good selection, and then pass them on to real life.
I hate the world today. I hate it so much.
You got out of it. Anyway, let's get back to you because you didn't really said anything. You said that when I asked you to red or green, you held up green. What are the types of money financial fights you have in your relationship or in past relationships?
Yeah, no, not in my current, in my past.
In your past, what was it?
In my past, he had lost his job, and I ended up paying for everything. I think I did that for like 6 to 8 months, and eventually, like, I was just over it. I left the relationship.
Yeah. Tell us why you left the relationship.
It was very unattractive watching him lose his job and sit there and like play video games every day and just be a bum.
Absolutely not.
I can't.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I was ripping my hair out of my head. It drove
So
me
he
insane.
wasn't even looking for a job?
No.
Okay.
Mommy and daddy were paying for things.
Oh, his parents had money?
Yeah.
But
For
even then,
6 to
so
8
it was
months.
unattractive.
Yeah. Well, once I found out.
But why were you paying for
I was
everything? You said
bamboozled.
mommy and daddy were paying for everything.
Yeah, I was bamboozled in the first. I didn't know that they were doing all that until
So
he
how
lo-
were you bamboozled?
Well, because he was lying about paying for things.
Like, she
he
didn't
lied
know his
about
parents
paying
were
his own
giving
Yeah.
money.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he was just a liar.
Yeah.
Was he a cheater too?
I don't think so.
He was a financial cheater.
Yeah.
He was a financial non-disclosure. Okay, what was the least attractive? Like, if you can like highlight, like, this was the day that I came home from work, and there he was
Covered in
playing
Cheetos.
video games with Vaseline on the counter for some reason. What was the moment you're like, this motherfucker's gotta go? What was that moment?
When I started planning the breakup, like my exit out, because at the time we had lived together, I was literally paying for everything. Like, mind you, we were splitting rent, and for me to work hard for my money, and then your parents are paying your half, and I didn't know about that, I felt very lied to. So when I found out, because yes, I did go through his phone, and I found out that his parents were sending him money, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because I had been begging him for like 6 months to finally get a job, and he just won it. And I was like, where's all this money coming from? He was like, I got it. Don't worry. I'm like, no, you don't.
Oh, I hate that statement.
How much are his parents actually giving him a month, you think?
The whole rent?
Rent, when we split it, was like 15. And then I think...
1,500?
Yeah, 1,500. And then
I don't know, my
think,
world, it could be 15 grand. All right, cool.
No. Mind you, I was
We don't
paying the
get
other
that.
I
half.
get it. So here he is. How old was he at the time?
21.
He's a kid. Of course
I
his
know,
parents are
but
giving him
like-
money. What are you talking about?
I was also 21.
Okay, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying it. If he was 31, I would be like, bro, I'd look in the camera and be like, you're a fucking loser, bro.
Yeah.
21, you're just, maybe you're senior
Well, I
in
think me
college, what
leaving him
have
was
you.
finally what he needed in life to like get his shit around.
And how old are you now?
23.
Okay, you're still in touch with him?
No. Oh, no.
Why? It's not like he was an
Well,
asshole. He just,
yes, he was.
No,
he was
he
a bad
was.
egg.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a bad egg. I
So on
love
top
it.
of being lazy, on top
Yeah.
of being entitled, on top of basically lying, he just wasn't a good dude anyway.
Yeah, no. It wasn't a good fit.
Ted, if you're watching, we're coming for you, bro. We're going to check your documents. We're going to be checking your thing. I always say, girls, listen, you're
him a
never
thumbs
going to
down.
like, if you go up into your dude's phone, you're never going to like what you see. Because it's never going to be like, hey, what time are we meeting at the homeless shelter? Hey, I'm going to the Battered Women's Association. Can we meet there? By the way, Special Olympics is a rain delay, so we're going to do it again next week. It's always going to be something. Now, and I'm not saying I'm innocent or I've never done anything wrong, but sometimes, like, you know, the Dave Chappelle thing where it's like, when good times go bad. I remember a relationship, I was in my, like, late 20s at the time, and I was looking for an excuse to get out of this relationship, but we were like,
No, you didn't.
I don't know, I just, like, I don't like dating homeless girls, and this girl just basically was kind of going through, her job, and she got laid off, and she couldn't pay rent. I was like, all right, you can stay with me for a little while. It's sort of
Well, I think that's
thematic
big,
of me.
though. Like,
But hold on. So I was just like not like it wasn't like I love you, let's move in. It was like I guess you can stay
Like,
for a
I feel
while.
bad for you.
That thing.
Yeah.
But I remember like I went to the gym. This is in 2007 and 8, so this is before like your phone was like playing music, and I think I had a Walkman. I think I left my phone.
Yikes.
And I came into the house, and I'm looking for my phone, and she locked herself in the room.
Oh, you know, it's
And
going
I
down.
was like, hey, I won't say her name, but I was like, hey, where's my phone? She's like, I have it in here with me in the bathroom. I was like, get out of the bathroom with my phone. And she's like, no. Yeah. She's just like, who the fuck is Carrie? Why would you tell Carrie you love her? I was like, you're making a fool out of yourself. Like, get out of the bathroom. She's like, no. I'm like, get out of the bathroom so we can talk. I'm not addressing you. The best thing you could do if a girl's just like doing that in the bathroom is just stop talking.
For sure.
Just stop talking. Because if you're going to argue with and engage with her, she's just going to yell back at you. It's just going to be. So if I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. And you're just like. And 3, 2, 1. She walks out of the bathroom. I was like, "Get my phone, woman!" Right? She's like, "Who the fuck is Carrie?" I was like, "You want to feel like an absolute idiot? That's my 16-year-old cousin that I'm like checking in on because that's my little cousin." Yeah. And I was like, "Well, now I was looking for an excuse for you to get out of here. Bye. Pack your shit. You're out. Peace out. That was what I needed. Damn. Get out of here." But then we got married 2 years later. No, I'm just kidding. Like, but that was it. But never go through a man's phone. You're never gonna like what you see. No. Oftentimes you could be wrong.
I did it one too because I knew he was lying. You
knew it. You already. Your female spider senses were already there.
Yeah. But no, I think that's huge though. If you're in a relationship and you want it to be like stable and healthy, I think you yourself need to be stable and healthy. Like you can't just expect the other person to come save you. Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
Speaking of stable and healthy relationships, I want to get your guys' take on this. Here are 6 money questions to ask your partner before you commit. Okay, so we'll go down this thing right now. You tell me what stands out to you ladies right now. So here's 6 money questions to ask before you commit. You recently got married. You've been married 10 years. Sounds like you're not going through your current boyfriend's phone, I hope. No. Oh, you know, you're ready for it. Anyway, gentlemen, leave it in the chat if you're interested in Sarah. Gorgeous, cool, awesome, slightly red-pilled. But here are 6 money questions. So question number 1, if you received a gift of $10,000 tomorrow, how would you spend it? Ooh. Cool. That's number 1. I think that enables you to figure out where that woman is at. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I'm going to fucking go to the mall. All right. Or it's like, I would invest it in a Roth IRA. It's like, all right, girl, I see you. You've been listening to Jim Cramer. Number 2, do you have any debt or financial obligations I should know about? I think that's super important. Super, super important because these girls with these student loan debts out there, we went through the chart of credit card debt, auto debt, student loan debt, you know, health, medical debt, actual mortgage debt, all the debt. There was one debt that women had more than men. Men had debt in every single category more than women, except for college loans. Women had more than that. So that's something to basically pay attention to if you're a man. That was number 2. Number 3, I think this is actually probably the most important, in my opinion. How did your parents deal with money issues? What was your financial upbringing and baggage? What did that look like? I think that's good to know, right? Like, did they fight about it? Did they not fight about it? Did mom work? Did dad work? What was the financial situation at the household? Huge issue to discuss. Number 4, how will you, this is actually probably the most important one, how will you divide household expenses? What percentage do you plan on contributing, right? That's certainly important for the women to figure out what number they want. Number 5, what do you think of a prenup? We just had that discussion right there. We know that you strongly advocate prenups and you encourage all men to get prenups, right, Laura?
And women. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone. Prenup for everyone.
Because, you know, all marriages last forever. That's a fact right there. Mm-hmm. Sarcasm right there if you didn't see the last topic. Yep. And then number 6, what does your future look like? What do your future goals look like 5-10 years down the road? Career, marriage, kids, retirement. So, Amber, let me ask you. So, you recently got married. You know, I just asked these 6 different questions you should ask. $10,000, debt, parents, how do you want to divide the household expenses, prenup, what are your future goals? Which one of these sticks out to you the most?
I mean, before you get married, I feel like you need to sit down and have like a financial conversation and lay everything out on the table. Talking about debt and things like that is super important. Like you are going to be one household, so I think that's very important. But I like the $10,000 question just because it gives me a base point of how you would spend money. Are you that person? Hey, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy a bag and I'm gonna buy these expensive things. Red flag for me.
Yeah. No guy's getting 10 grand like, I'm going to get a bag. No, that's more on the women.
Hey, I'm gonna go to another country. I'm gonna go on vacation. Whatever. If it was a answer like that, would be a huge red flag to me. You know, investing that $10K, doing something with it.
Well, let me ask you, if you received the gift of $10,000 tomorrow, what would you do with it?
I'd probably put it into a Section 8 house, something that's going to make me money again.
Really? Section 8 housing?
That's what I've been...
You're a slumlord.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Hottest slumlord I ever done, see? Congratulations.
Miss Amber. That's what everyone calls
Miss Amber? That's what they call you? So you're a teacher now?
No, with the people that live there, that's what she's saying, call her.
Miss Amber?
Yeah. Miss
Amber. All right.
Miss Amber.
Natalia Del Valle, hi.
Yes. Hi.
If you received a gift of $10,000 tomorrow, what would you do with it?
I would hold on to it and confide in my parents, because I've seen them deal with lots of money, and figure out what to do with it. But I would save it. I wouldn't touch it.
If you can spend $1,000 of it, where would you spend it? Have to spend it.
I mean, if I have to spend it,
Yeah.
I mean,
Save 9, spend 1. I think that's a good ratio.
I would spend it on my rent. What do you mean? Like, if
That's
I had
it? You wouldn't go
$1,000
buy something? Nothing?
I mean, right now, I just don't feel like I have the need to go buy. Like, I'm not a materialistic type of person in a way. Like, for example, I have nice things, right? I have a nice car, right?
That's true. You are my Uber driver.
Yes,
Respect.
in a very nice car, right? But I would prefer to have things like that instead of having multiple high expense items on my plate. So I just pick and choose kind of the items that I want, and yeah, that's how I go.
Okay. Aspen, these questions out here. If you receive $10,000, do you have any debt? You have your parents. Do you have any parents that pay your bills? I feel like you would ask that question to your man. To your man, right?
No, he's paid for everything.
Which of those questions stuck out to you the most?
I think 1 and 2 I would put together, just because for me, if like I was given that, I'm not in a lot of debt, but I think I would definitely just want a clean slate. So I just want to get all that out of the way. Like, I don't want to have to worry about that anymore.
Gotcha. And how would you spend this 10 grand gift?
On my debt.
That's what you
I would.
You would pay off your debt. How much debt do you have right now?
I have $8,000 in student loans, and then a couple in credit card.
What's the credit card amount?
Damn.
She said a couple.
What are you gonna pay off her
Right? What you gonna pay?
Guys, this is a financial show. Back up, cat women.
Make sure you get the banking and the routing.
You say you owe a couple grand in credit card debt?
Yes.
All right,
And
cool.
what cards are those?
What's that?
I said, what cards are those?
3-digit code on the back.
Yeah, what's your security?
And social?
Okay, guys,
Do you know the
relax.
APR?
Relax.
Yes.
How about this? What's the interest rate on the credit card?
I knew that was the
See,
next
that
one.
I don't even know.
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Guys, we're getting somewhere here.
No, I
Okay.
need
You
to
don't know the
educate
interest
myself.
rate?
I do not.
Okay, take a wild guess. What do you think it is?
It's high.
It's probably
Take a guess.
24%.
Probably. 20.
You don't know.
What's the rate on the student one? Like, basically, which one are you paying first?
Yeah.
I make payments on both of them right now.
No,
Okay.
but with the 10 grand, you're going to want to pay off the high interest one first. That's why he's saying find out so you can.
Yeah.
If
No,
ever
I
you
need
do,
to. I need to educate myself more.
Come
Okay,
into
so
money.
listen, we're gonna have a slight intervention right now. We're not gonna.
No, please, like,
This is
educate
good.
me.
Yeah, okay,
This is
here,
great.
here we
No,
go.
I like this, but
Here
like
we
I
go.
don't want to expose myself like that either.
No,
But
so let's just hypothetically say you came across this 10 grand, right? I would ask you, all right, what are the first things you need to do with it? You say, I have debt. You say,
Yeah.
yo, 8K in student loan debts. By the way, not a huge number.
No,
Respect
yeah.
to you, okay?
Thank you. I went to
Most people, the
community
average
college
student debt is
instead.
like 40 grand.
Yeah.
But you owe how much in credit card debt?
4.
4K. All of a sudden,
4K.
guys, you just went from 2 to 4.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
Just went from 2 to 4 real quick. Hello.
Still not bad. Like,
Thank
you.
you, but like
Crazy.
I never had any of that before I came to Miami.
Okay.
I created that trying to keep an image that I shouldn't have.
What do you mean?
we
You were
still
trying to
have
ball out?
talk. Oh my
Not trying to
gosh.
ball out, but I didn't have that like in my upbringing. So when I came to Miami, I had to change all my clothes. I had to change all my house decorations. I had to
Yeah.
change the place I lived. And like I changed everything about myself, but I probably did that in the worst
Hot
way.
tip for you. Guys don't care what's
I
going on
know,
in
they
their house.
don't.
As long
They
as they're
really
in your
don't.
house, they're happy. You can fucking have a futon.
Yeah.
You can have your mattress. What was the famous thing? It's like
yeah.
you're worried about what I'm bringing to the table. Meanwhile, your mattress is on the floor. You got 3 socks. What was it?
You got 3
So,
socks
hold
in
on.
your drawer.
Let's have a quick intervention right here. So all of
Okay.
a sudden, your credit card debt, you don't know the interest rate. Here's my
I do not.
assumption. By the way, you paying the minimum every month?
Yes.
Just the minimum.
That's
Yeah.
How much is the
Yes.
minimum? 50
Yes,
bucks?
anyway.
12 bucks?
100.
100 bucks. Okay. It's a weird question. Weird question. Feel free not to answer. But
Okay.
how much is in your checking account right now?
Ooh, yeah, no, I'm not answering that.
Is it
you
more
gonna
or less than
contribute?
5 grand?
Around.
Okay. How much is rent?
I pay 25. I live alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're paying 2,500 bucks. How ready are you for you to have a roommate?
So I'm actually moving back to Iowa after my lease is over.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
I want
When
the
are you
husband.
moving
I want
back?
the family. I'm over Miami.
Is
a
Aaron
lot.
moving
Guys,
with
let's
you?
have a moment of silence.
So
here.
Aaron lives in Iowa. We're doing long
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
that's
So it's just too
mucho.
expensive here.
distance. It's ridiculous. Here.
City girl from Iowa came to the big city. She
didn't
spent
like
all
it.
her money. She's
Yeah.
partying, and she's like, I gotta
No,
get
I
the
didn't
hell out of
party.
here.
City ate her money.
I've never been to 11. I've never been to Live. I've never been to
Okay.
Space.
That's very un-Miami of you. But here's the point.
Thank you.
When you go back to Iowa, and how long? How many months?
2.5.
Oh, so you're ready out of here. Other than her tears, you're ready. You're ready to go.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saving up
Okay.
for right now to move back home.
Gotcha. You're gonna save up, and then how much is your rent gonna be in Iowa?
I'm living for free 99 with my mom.
Yeah.
There you go. Good job.
Now, how are you gonna still make
Save.
money while you're in Iowa?
So I'm getting my personal training certificate here, and then when
Okay.
I move back home, I already have some clients lined up.
So
I
here's
love
your
that.
game plan. Okay. For the next couple months, just pay the minimum because you basically don't have enough money to pay
Yeah.
rent, and like you got to get your
Yeah,
money
like it's getting
basically
overwhelming at
figured
this
out.
point.
But in 3 months from now, basically, after New Year's, all that fun stuff, you're going to be paying nothing in rent. So any income comes in should go right to your savings. Now, what I would do is these are your only 2 debts. No car debt.
I do, but that's almost paid off.
What's the car debt?
$2,000.
$2,000 in the car debt. What's the percentage interest rate on that?
I don't know.
Okay, so listen, we're not shaming her. We're helping our friends.
good.
here.
For sure. Thank
We're
you.
helping our friend.
Thank you. I like
First
this.
thing you got to do is 3 things. All right, get a piece of paper. You're
That
going to
one I do
write
pay
the
more.
name of the debt, the amount of the debt. Ready? And wait for it because you already did the first 2.
and the percentage.
The interest rate on the
Yeah.
debt. Okay, because our friend Laura here understands that the interest rate is basically super important to know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my assumption. Your credit card, you're probably paying 24% a month. That's not good. Your student loans, you're probably paying, I don't know, 6, 8%. I don't know.
Which I
figure
just
that out,
started-
whether that's federal, whether that's private. Figure that out.
And the car.
And then your car note that you own $2,000. When did you buy the car? Was it a lease? Was it not a lease? Was it a?
No,
was
I'll
it
own
a-
it after
it was a
this.
purchase? Was how long
Yeah.
ago? How long ago?
3 years ago.
Okay, so you probably got it before these fucking ridiculous interest rates. So maybe was it new or used?
Used.
Okay, so maybe you're
Might be
paying
low.
6, 10%. I don't know, somewhere in that. So here's what I would recommend that you do. It's something called the debt snowball.
Snowball. Oh, hey,
Okay.
Dave Ramsey.
Hey-o. You can do one of 2 things, just because I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You can do the debt snowball or the debt avalanche. What I would recommend is the snowball. It's because just start with the easiest debt you can knock out. So this would be the car debt.
Okay.
All right, you owe $2,000. Yo, I'm back in Iowa. No more Miami. I'm just banging out this car debt. Once that's done, move right on to the credit card debt. Bang that out. Then you're working on your student debt. If you
Yeah, 'cause
actually
that's the
do
biggest
this,
one.
if you do this, and you're basically living for free for a year, you could be debt free and by the end of the year, debt free. And then you have to make me a promise. You have to do 2 things.
Okay.
You have to, moving forward, understand what an interest rate is, right? You're gorgeous, you're great, you're fit. Let's understand what interest rates are.
Yeah.
And then number
I'm
2,
uneducated in that
never
field.
get back into debt again. That's it. Do we have a deal?
Absolutely.
We have a handshake? Give it up for our friend, ladies.
Thank you. Sauce lesson.
Well, yeah. But I think that's super important for you. I think that's super important.
Well, yeah,
for you.
because like going forward, I do eventually want to get married, and I don't want to bring my debt onto him. Like that's not his
Well,
responsibility.
that's very respectable of you.
Beautiful.
Let me tell you,
Make
if
sure
you
he
only
don't have
owe
So
10,
I've been
15 grand
working
in
a lot.
debt, a guy's not going to not marry the girl he loves for that amount. However, I remember one of my best friends was dating a girl, and he's like, she wants to settle down. She wants to get married. I don't know. I'm iffy. And you know me, I'm always asking, all right, what does she do for work? What does it is? What she bring to, all that. I goes, how much debt she have? Yeah, she has $150,000
That's very
in
normal for student loans.
loan debt. I go,
Oh, yeah.
brother, if you're already having cold feet, buddy, put your feet in the ice bath because that shit, do not let it happen. But this is super important,
Crazy.
Super normal.
right?
That would
Because the
make me
man,
itchy.
especially the husband, is going to assume that debt.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Sarah's take on this. By the way, clap it up for,
Very
Aspen
proud
here.
of you.
Aw,
Talk a
We'll have
little
you
bit about
back
money.
when you're debt free.
Yeah, when you're
too.
debt free, you'll come
Debt
back.
free. I believe in you.
So just put a flight on your credit card. Come on down. Okay. So Sarah, you get 10 grand, right? Other than going to visit Aspen in Iowa, maybe 6 months from now, what would you do with it?
Invest it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you investing that thing?
I don't really know where. I don't really know a lot about investments. Like I
Okay.
have some money in stocks and crypto, but I don't have any like crazy investments. So I would probably get some advice on
What stock
where to-
investments do you have?
But my mom told me to buy into some certain ones a while ago. So I have one in like Disney and Apple.
All right.
And Then I have
reputable
Bitcoin
companies
and Ethereum.
All right.
And Chainlink, which is actually making me quite a bit of money lately.
Okay.
It's running right now.
Yeah. It's running nicely.
So you're a crypto entrepreneur, baller, Disney princess, iPhone user.
Exactly.
Do you have any debt, Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh, time for an intervention.
I know, the best.
What kind of debt do you have?
Yeah, I do.
What kind of debt do you have?
I have student loans.
How much?
32,000.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay.
What else? What about consumer debt?
Like credit cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some credit cards.
What you got?
I do.
Your best friend just had a
do
full on like full
know the
disclosure.
interest rates. It's like 20 point something percent.
All right. Well, you couldn't have been a good friend and told your best friend over here what you had.
Well, I don't know what her interest
Why don't you
rate
ask
is.
her a question or two? How you cared, girl?
You had the floor, Adam. I don't want to interrupt you.
That's true. I'm saying before this, you had to come on national TV to face.
We talk about our debt together all the time.
Yeah,
and she
no,
tells
we
me,
do.
I'm like, God, I wish
we
I had
do.
as much
So
as
how
you.
much
down,
debt
we-
do you owe? Credit card?
I don't want to talk about it.
How much?
Don't make her if she doesn't want to.
More or less than $5,000?
More.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'll tell you honestly, I'm not embarrassed about it. I am embarrassed about it, but I just did this like debt consolidation thing.
Yeah.
So like it'll be paid off within like a year and something.
Okay.
But I owe $23,000 in credit cards.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna tell you why. Nobody ever taught me how to use a credit card. I got credit cards when I was 18, and because I always paid on time and I always paid more than the minimums, like minimum due, so they just kept like increasing. And I blew a lot of that in Europe. I accumulated a lot.
Yeah, you went
when
to
I was
Europe
in
this summer.
I did, and I was alone. So like I was swiping my
Everybody
cards.
knows you're a hot chick. Get a
I-
dude to pay
I
for
swear
it.
to God, was
How
I
many
alone
girls
or
I've
not?
taken to Europe?
Yeah, but you know what? Here's my thing. Yeah, but
It was your solo trip.
Just one girl, but it was multiple times.
But if it was like a good looking guy I was interested in, like
Yeah.
I would go on that trip with him. But like for me to find some like gross, sweaty weirdo,
Just do
like,
the Dubai,
ew,
Miami
no,
thing
no,
and
no,
get
no,
some
no, I can't do it. I can't
sleazy
do it.
dude to pay for it.
Is that good advice, Adam?
No,
Is that,
it's sarcasm, Laura.
Financial show. What kind of
Guys,
advice is
it's
that?
sarcasm
I think you believe
here.
it to your core.
I don't.
Okay, listen, do I believe this? Who gives a shit if I believe it? Women do it all the time. Who gives a shit?
Do you know
Who cares if I believe it or not? Women do this
we don't
nonstop.
trust proponent of it.
What's
But it's
that?
gross.
I think you're a proponent of it.
No, I just one day,
He really
one day
is.
when I'm not good looking
part of the
and
problem.
charming and I'm old, fat, and sleazy, I'm gonna
You're
want to
gonna do
have
that?
young
You're
hot
gonna-
chicks.
I don't think you're joking. I think you're
I'm actually,
joking.
to be honest with you, there's nothing less attractive
Attractive.
to a man than finding out that hot little Sarah over here went to Europe last year with 64-year-old Chuck,
Yeah, that's literally disgusting.
and he
No.
paid for everything. It's like, great meeting you, I'm out. So as much as I'm joking, like go get them to do that, it's very unactractive quality for a guy to find out
That's why-
that you were basically a sugar
baby.
baby, and the guy, you know, and we all know how it happens. Like you're just in Europe doing a selfie. It's like, you're at dinner at the fancy restaurant in Paris. It's like, there's 2 cups of wine on the table, baby. And if you're with your girlfriend, you know you're doing a double selfie. If you're with some random dude, he's not in the picture. Been there, done that. Okay.
That's so sad.
So
Were
we're
you
on
the
to
random dude not pictured?
I've been a random dude in a lot of pictures, but most women aren't exactly ashamed to have a dude they're dating in the picture.
Yeah, no.
But we all know the guys.
I know
that-
that's why when people are like, oh, so many people try to say it was like a sugar daddy thing that I didn't pay, and I'm like, I encourage you to pull up my credit card statements, and I will pull them up for
Right.
you because I was.
That's actually a great
definitely-
question. For the next boyfriend, do you want Sarah, who has $25,000 of debt,
But
she
isn't a
paid for
sugar
her
baby.
trip herself?
Boom.
This is a poll. Or Sarah's debt free, but
one
she
with
went
Chuck.
with Chuck, who likes to Europe.
But she had to
and
close
he's
her eyes and
63.
regret her
No.
life
Oh
the
my God,
entire
no.
trip.
What would you guys want? I don't know. I think if you love
We'll
the girl,
take
you'll
debt.
take the debt, not
Terrible.
Yeah.
not the D. The other kind of D.
That's like
Oh my God.
I don't like to post a lot from my trip. Like I barely posted anything in like the highlight wheels of travel because I know that's like the most unattractive.
Well, Sarah,
putrid
slight
vile thing
intervention,
to
and then we'll
men.
go to Laura here. I asked you, what would you do with $10,000? You said invest, and here's my advice to you: you are done investing. do not Invest. Don't buy Ethereum. Don't buy Bitcoin. Don't buy Apple. I don't care if your mom tells you Disney's where it's at. They've gone woke. They've gone broke. Take all that money.
If I pulled it out, I could pay off my credit. If I pulled it out, I could pay off my credit card debt, but I don't want to pull it out.
I get it. I don't want to pull it on camera either. But there's things you need to do to eliminate debt.
So now, so hear me out. I don't know what kind of government program my student loans went into, but I'm accumulating no interest.
Yeah, it's called. That's what they were doing. There was the.
It's because we're paying.
Biden basically paused the student loan situation, but now the repayments are due again, basically starting this month.
Yeah, but mine are. I was just telling her this. I was like, I'm so confused because it says like repayment amount $0.
But that's what he's saying. The rubber
oh my God, she fell for it.
The rubber is meeting the road.
I logged into my portal even. Like
I tried to make a payment the other day. And it
did deep dipping, and I tried to. It's like minimum payment $0, and I was like, hey, whatever. I'll just figure out the loans later. So I'm just gonna take care of the credit cards.
Well, that's on your student loans, though.
Yeah, which I could really give less.
I guarantee you on that credit card statement worth $23,000, it does not say good news, zero due.
Yeah, Biden's not touching your credit
Chase wants their motherfucking money.
But Adam, I did this like debt consolidation crap. So now I'm not
so hot.
Yeah. So now I'm not paying an interest rate, and I'm just paying put it all together, and now I'm just paying like $1,000 a month on it. So it'll be going.
Well, congratulations.
And they negotiated it down, so I don't owe $23,000. I only owe $16,000.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
I know. So in 16 months, it's gone.
Anyway, for the friends at home watching this, I assume some of you guys have debt. I assume some of you guys have been in this situation here where you didn't know the interest rate, where you went on a little summer vacay with some bae out there and spent a little bit of money.
No, without a
And if you come into some money, you're like, yo, it's crypto time, bro. No. Debt is your money going backwards. Debt is losing the interest rate game. She's paying 24%. You said you were paying 20-something%.
It was like 20.4 or something.
Okay, thanks for fact checking me. 20%, whatever it is. But I think it's important to understand before you can start really investing, you need to get out of the ditch that you're living in, okay, and start to save, get that money out, that debt out of your life, start to save, then invest. I say it all the time. I've said it on the show a million freaking times. Red light, yellow light, green light. So red light is debt. Yellow light is savings. Green light is investing. You don't go from red to green. You got to save up a little bit of money, get out of the debt, then you can start investing. Because when you start investing, like you said, Sarah, I don't want to sell it. That's the whole point, is don't have to sell it to basically have funds to live your life. Right, Amber?
Agreed.
That's right. When Amber comes to that $10,000, she's already debt free. She's basically saying it's time to go be a bigger slumlord than I am now.
No, but
Section 8 housing time, baby.
I think you have to really dive deep into financial literacy, because when I was in my 20s, I had no idea about credit. I got in, bad credit. My mom does not talk highly of money because she didn't have it.
Same.
So in my household, it was like, oh, if you have money, it's bad, or credit cards are bad. We just use cash, which is totally, totally wrong. So do yourself the hugest favor and just do research and learn about how to spend your money, how to save your money the right way, where you can put your money, because it's gonna really push you so much farther than just sitting there and be like, I think I'm know where your money is going and how you're spending it.
Where did you find?
Well said.
Where did you start when it came down to it?
Honestly, YouTube. Yeah. Everyone, I think, doesn't think about YouTube, but there's so much free information on YouTube. I actually just came out with my own credit app. So it's $35.99 a month, and you can look at your credit. You can dispute things yourself. So I wanted to help people because no one taught me how to use a credit card.
Yeah, same.
No one in school didn't teach me what, the interest rates meant or how, spent. I got a credit card at 18. I didn't even have a job.
Same.
Why are you giving me a credit card?
Well, because what happens is I remember getting a credit card at 18. You go on these college campuses, and they show up, and they're like, for a free T-shirt, you can ruin your life.
No.
And you're like, fuck it, I need a free T-shirt. The next thing you know, you got this free T-shirt from Visa, and you're like, look at this free shirt. And it's like, that came with 24.99% interest, buddy, and a lifetime of debt. Enjoy it. Go Knowles. Thanks, Florida State. But that's what these credit card companies do. I don't think they should should even be allowed on campus.
I don't think so either.
Straight up. So
I dug myself
just
in
be
super
careful
young.
if you're a young person out there you're on college campuses, you've never had a credit card debt in your life. Tread lightly. I also think there should be limits on these credit cards. There usually are.
Mm-hmm.
But a $1,000 limit, I think, is something that is viable for someone. But I know you can increase your limit. My roommate in college, I remember he was like, dude, he's partying, he's paying for drinks, he was the man. I was like, how much credit card debt you had? He's like, yeah, I owe 10 grand in credit card debt. I said, what? Insane. He was 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, we shouldn't have been in the club anyways. But hey, that's Florida State for you, buddy. 21 and over on this
I feel like parents should educate more, but a lot of parents
the
don't
parents
even know
have to be
anything
educated
about it. Yeah,
themselves,
like
yeah.
my parents didn't know anything. They taught me nothing. Like
Well,
the same
look.
limiting beliefs, like money's bad.
Great point right here. Parents. There's a debate right now of whether parents should be relying on their kids to fund their retirements. We had this discussion earlier. Now, here's the reality of it. It was actually a buddy of mine out there that basically sort of sparked that debate. He's basically said it was irresponsible of a parent to not be 100% set up for retirement, especially if they have kids, because it forces them to be financially responsible for their parents. Now, when I say especially if they have kids, like if they have kids, because that's why they're a parent. But here's the data that basically comes with this. 2020 census revealed that 58% of baby boomers, I would assume that most of our parents are baby boomers, maybe Gen Xers, that 58% don't own a retirement account. 58%. And 56% of Gen X are in the same situation for retirement. The median savings in retirement accounts are just $289 for baby boomers, who are basically 65 plus, and $82K for Gen X, which is basically mid 40s to basically 65. So often what's happening is that younger generations are having to step in, helping their parents retire, and then essentially fulfilling the cycle of they might not have enough money for retirement. So it gets pretty ugly. So you talked about, I think it was you that just said, nobody ever taught you about money. Well, nobody taught your parents about money, and that's why this cycle continues. I think you brought up the whole, I learned it on what? YouTube.
I took
You got to
it
learn
into
for
my own
yourself.
hands. Yeah, because,
Right.
I saw that generational, like my grandmother is in her 80s, wasn't great with money, didn't plan. Now living in South Florida, things are expensive. Like my grandmother pays like
Aspen's
$1,800
noted. She has to move back
for
to
rent.
Iowa.
For being 80, $1,800 rent is crazy. And then seeing how it trickled down to my mom, and now being successful in my 30s, I was like, okay, I need to plan. Like, I'm not really big on 401ks and things like that. I'd rather put my money in other places and work for me. But, I didn't even have life insurance. Like, this was something that I recently started and putting a lot of money into that. So when I retire, I have money.
Right.
It's just doing your own research and setting yourself up for success later on, because what we do today is what we're going to harvest later on, and really taking that in consideration. Like, we can't just like live life like running around, because then when you get to 65, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right.
What do I do?
Well, you're absolutely right, because when you're 21 or 23 or 24 or 25, you're like, why do I care about retirement?
For sure.
It's like, it's the last thing I'm worried about. But here's what I do know, that if you're 23 or 25, you're going to be 30. And then next thing you know, time flies, boom, you're 40. Next thing you know, you have nothing saved for retirement. If you're 40, your parents are probably in their 60s, if not 70 at that point. And then you can look at your parents and be like, how much money do you have saved for retirement? Oh, nothing? What? And as Bernie Sanders always says, not that I'm for or against Bernie, it's irrelevant. He's always saying, do you understand that 50% of baby boomers who are ready to retire have nothing saved for retirement? So I ask you at home, whether it's a 401k, whether it's a Roth IRA, whether it's home equity, whatever it is, do you want to have $1 million saved for retirement? Do you want to have $500,000 saved for retirement? Do you want to have $10 million, or do you want to have nothing? I would argue that like the last thing that you want in your life is to be on what I call the government plan. When you've got no money, you're relying on Social Security and Medicaid.
And
that
if
is
that's gonna
basically
even
for like
be around.
poor, broke people.
That might not even be around when I'm 65, the way things are going. So relying on the government is never
Rely on them
like
for
a-
nothing.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely not.
Right. Like a Cuban would know, do not rely on the government for nothing. They will take that shit. So anyway, you ready to pay for your parents' retirement? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? I actually, my dream is always, like, the only reason I've ever wanted to be successful is so that I can, like, give my mom a good life.
Yeah.
That's precious.
Yep.
It's like the best feeling.
Yeah.
You said you did that for your parents. What do you do for your parents?
Well, I pay rent. I've given my mom a car. Like, my 2 siblings are disabled, so they can't work. Wow. So now that I'm successful, I'm able to help them tremendously, and it's the best feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's a lot of weight on your shoulders. Like, when you think about it, now you're taking care of a whole nother family, and now I'm starting my own family. So
right.
I think there's pros and cons with it, but I think it's a great thing when you're able to do that for your parent.
Yeah. Like, my drive of, like, when I kind of, like, realized I always kind of wanted to, like, work for myself. I never really, like, had a dream of, like, climbing a corporate ladder. It was never my dream. And I always would tell my mom, like, just let me, like, I have an idea in my head, I have a plan in my head, just let me figure it out. And, like, I've dug myself into some debt, but, like, now I'm starting to, like, learn about it and dig myself out of it and being proactive about it. But I am only 26, so, like, I am still young, but I'm at the age now where it's like, I need to get my shit together, like, now and figure it out. And my stepdad is, like, my mom had a brain aneurysm rupture a couple years ago, so now my mom is, like, disabled and she doesn't work or do anything. So my stepdad completely takes care of her, and he's still working full-time, like, 85 hours a week, and, like, taking care of my mom and supporting them. So now, like, my mom is, like, everything to me, like, my best friend in the entire world. I'd jump in front of a bullet for her. So, like, watching my stepdad, like, my stepdad raised me, so, like, watching him, like, just not, like, turn her back to her and do everything to, like, make sure she's good and take care of her. Now I'm like, okay, well, now I don't want to just, like, have her, like, now I have you too, like, and knowing how hard he's working, I just really want to, like, find success so that I can be, like, relax, like, I got it.
Respect to you. I mean, and you're honoring your grandparents' legacy by running the business still to this day. So, you know, she's talking about basically helping fund her parents' retirement, retirement. Your mom, okay. I help my mom all the time. Like, the best thing to say to my mom is, like, because she's working, she's got very little saved for retirement, but she's like one of those, Mom, if you're watching, I love you. I'm going to say nice things. She doesn't ever want to stop working. Like, her only hobby is, like, singing. So, and it's not like her album's dropping anytime soon. So she doesn't want to go play golf. She doesn't want to play mahjong. She's not shopping at the mall. She just wants to work and sing. All right. I'm like, you can do both at the same time. So she's always making this income. But basically, as you turn, I think the number is 75. You have to start taking, it's called minimum monthly withdrawals or from your 401k. So she's having to start withdrawing this money something upcoming soon, but she can still work. I said, Mom, just know this, that your son, and even my daughter, my sister, give respect to her, when you're ready to retire and you have no money, you're never going to be on the government plan. Like, you're good to go. She's like, oh, that's my sonny boy. Thank you so much. But it is a great feeling to know that, like, you've done something in your life to help your parents. Now, I would encourage the parents out there to not have to rely on their kids and actually make the financial decisions in their life, not to rely on their kids. But here's the reality. If we're using Bernie Sanders as an example, 50% of people have not been paid. Like, so don't, like, flip a coin, just like with marriage. Flip a coin whether marriage is successful. Flip a coin whether your financial life is successful. I'd rather be on the side of, I got my money right, I got my relationship right, I got my life right. I don't want it to be a coin flip. Super important. Real quick, we're going to do a couple more stories, but we're going to play a game real quick.
Okay.
So with all this financial talk, I want to see how well versed you guys are with basic financial terms.
Ooh, this is exciting.
I have a feeling Amber's going to do well here.
You think Amber's going to do okay? Okay.
Do we need these?
I think If you know the answer, hold it up and I'll call on you.
All right.
Now we're going to play a game. Whoever gets the most amount correct is going to win some sort of prize.
Money.
Okay, how much? $100?
Yeah, but you
$100.
It's your $100
From your wallet, stolen wallet.
Yeah, I know, Nat. It's not coming from your ass. Okay,
Save that money.
I'll give the winner $100. How about that?
I like
Can
that.
I donate my $100 to her?
For her
debt?
In case.
So I'm gonna give you guys 10 financial terms.
Okay.
And if you know the answer, hold it up. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you lose a point.
I'll tally.
Humberto, no, Nat, you're playing. Nat, put the phone down.
She's like, okay.
Nat, put the phone down.
I'm looking at the chat.
Okay, because Humberto, you're going to keep score here. These are basic financial terms. It's nothing crazy. But when I throw the term out there, and we're going to do in alphabetical order, and just say it. Now, this is what I would call hot girls talking finance. Here we go right now. So the first term, if you know it and think you know the definition, raise it up, see if you have it. So the first one is an A, and it is asset allocation. Who knows the answer?
I mean, I'll take a stab at it.
Okay, raise it up. There we go.
I mean, asset is something that you own that is for you. It's not a liability. And then allocation is where you put it. I mean, I don't know any more in depth than that. I know the two words separately.
Yes.
Is to allocate your assets.
Okay.
To put them somewhere.
You know what? This wasn't a trick question. The answer is divvying up your investments or assets among different asset classes, like stocks, bonds, cash, crypto. So ding, 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 ding.
Yay.
Laura, divvying up your assets. Asset allocation. Pretty good. 1 point, Padrino. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. What is... Get ready to hold it up, because you're not going to... If you don't answer it, you're not going to get a point. You're not going to win $100. What is a stock?
I don't know if I can give a definition of that.
A stock?
It's
Go.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
it's
Amber.
a publicly traded
Good. Yeah.
company.
It's
All right.
Can I give it a
Yes, go ahead.
It's owning a piece of a company.
There it was. That was the correct answer. It's a share
of it.
in a
There we go.
company. So Amber, you were 50%.
Okay. It's
So
all right.
give Amber a half a point, but give Sarah the full point. Ding, ding, ding. Jorge, can we get a ding, ding sound? Thanks, guys.
Ding, ding.
All right. Okay.
No ding.
By the way, we're 2 out of 10, guys. We got 8 more now. What's going on over there? Nothing. Oh, that's not Jorge. That's human. What is ready? A bond.
Oh.
Oh,
Get that money.
Yes.
My grandparents used to buy me so many of these. God, it's a piece of paper that my grandparents used to buy them for me. But oh my God, it's. I guess I don't actually know what it is. But I know that my grandparents used to buy them for me.
The definition is a piece of paper my
You can't
grandparents
cash it
bought.
you buy it at one point in time and you can't cash it for X amount of years.
Okay.
Good job. That counts.
I don't know.
Right. That's sort of the time frame of the bond. Okay, how about this? Is a bond an investment or is it debt?
Investment.
Investment?
Yes.
Investment?
Well, you buy a $50 bond and then you cash it 20 years later for $50. So like, is it anything?
Go on. Is it an investment or debt?
I say the opposite.
Okay. Just say one of the answers.
Just say debt for the sake of it.
I'll join the panel and say it's an investment.
Investment or debt?
I'm going to say debt only because everybody else said it.
Okay.
There we go.
You know what, Sarah? If 10 of your friends were jumping off a bridge, you're just going to go ahead and be the 11th?
Hell yeah.
You should have been the girl that said debt. Laura got it right.
Do I get a point?
A bond is technically debt. It's, there's corporate debt, there's government debt. So a bond represents debt owned by an entity, usually governments or corporations. So that's when you lend, it's like an IOU to a company. So it's not an investment. A stock is an investment, appreciating asset. That's you. You got it wrong.
Oh.
Nat?
Are we shocked? No.
Gotta love Nat. All right, guys. We're continuing with Hot Girls Talk financial terms. Laura, way to go, Blue Ocean strategy. They all went left. You went right.
Does she get half point?
Well,
No,
I
I get the
instructed
full
her.
point.
I said somebody go the opposite way if you want to talk credibility.
But you didn't go the opposite way.
I did it, but I give good advice.
Okay.
I usually follow Aspen's lead because I trust her. She's my
right.
boyfriend, and I trust her
Okay.
decisions.
So we did asset allocation. We did stocks. We did bonds. All right. Get ready to hold up your thing.
Okay.
What is a 401k?
Again, I have one. I couldn't describe it.
Nat.
Go, Nat, go.
Come on, girl. I'm rooting for you, baby. I'm rooting for you. You work in HR in the company. You tell.
It's a retirement plan that companies provide
Yes.
for their employees, or you can purchase to save and invest your money, and you can allocate where you want to invest the money.
Give it up for Natalia.
Give her 2 points for that one.
For Nat. Do not give her 2 points for that.
2 points.
It is a tax advantage
Come on.
or tax deferred retirement savings account sponsored by an employee. So that's it.
Employer.
I'm sorry, employer, where
You're
the
welcome.
employee signs up from the employer
Student becomes
versus
the
thank you, versus an IRA, which stands for individual retirement account. You got to do it on your own.
Correct.
Interesting. Again, this is Hot Girls Talking Finance, guys.
There we go.
Congratulations for Nat. I didn't have you getting anything right.
Yeah, well,
Set expectations low.
Sometimes I like to
Under promise, over deliver. That's my girl Natalia.
She likes to surprise
All
you from time to time.
We'll finish out the last few things, and then we have one last story. Okay, guys, what is the ready? Hold up your things. The S&P 500. The S&P 500.
Get it now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get excited. So it's a stock that has, I think, 500 companies into one that people can invest into.
Okay.
And it's a very popular stock that maybe people's 401ks are attached to as well.
All right. You're mostly right. So it's not a stock, it's an index.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. It is an index. You're
Okay,
right,
it's a market index that's basically made up of the 500 largest corporations in America.
Yes.
So name 10 corporations in America. Name 3. The biggest. Go. Biggest 3. There's 500. Pick 3. There's humongous.
Banks.
The one she
Morgan
just
Stanley.
Say them.
Morgan Stanley.
Morgan Stanley, go on. The biggest companies in the world.
I
Go.
don't know.
Apple.
The one she just said.
Apple. Go ahead.
Disney.
Disney. Name huge corporations.
Nike.
Nike.
Okay.
Look at you knowing America.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Apple. Tesla.
Yeah.
All
Netflix.
those.
Tell me you've heard of these companies before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazon?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Never heard of that one,
That wasn't the
actually.
question. I answered
no,
your
you
question.
answered the
Okay,
question.
okay.
Point.
Point.
Del Valle. Are you in the lead right now?
3 points. She's up.
Okay.
She's at 3 points.
No, she does not have 3 points.
Because he
He gave me an extra point.
I'm not
Yeah.
giving that 2 points. She's equal
We're
just like
asking the chat.
everybody.
It's a poll.
I'm
It's
fired
a
up.
poll.
On to the next question. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, dog. That's getting gangsters, getting that confidence. Confidence leads to confidence.
No, someone said I'm
All
cheating.
right.
I'm not cheating.
Okay. All right. What is, ready? Hold them up.
Yes.
A balance sheet. A balance sheet.
I'll guess because I won't lose any points.
Oh,
I
shit.
remember this from accounting class.
Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
I failed accounting twice. A balance sheet, it tells you where your money is at. you.
Land the plane. You're almost there.
Land the plane. It tells you where
your money. It's like what you're spending and what's coming in, and it tells you like what's left over.
All right. Kind of. Nat, you want to, I feel like we're on the family flute. You want to pass or do you want to play?
No, I mean that's kind of my definition of it. It's just
Give a different answer. Go ahead.
A balance sheet?
Yes.
A balance sheet is basically where you have all your expenses in and you can identify what's coming in, what's coming out, and what's left over for you to make any type of investment.
Point.
So you gotta give Nat. Okay.
Point.
The answer is the company's financial statement, including assets, liabilities, capital, and debt. What's coming in, what's coming out. Balance. What comes in must go out. Boom. There it is. Sarah.
Hey,
half a point.
I had a real
half a point. Half a
dumbed down
point for
bit.
Sarah, 1 point for Nat.
That's right.
Nat's in the lead.
That's right.
Talk shit to Sarah. Go
That's
ahead.
right,
Fight.
No,
Oh,
Sarah's
sorry.
doing great.
My bad.
Sarah's doing great.
I'm so used to the Jerry Springer shit.
Yeah,
that
we
do.
know, we
My
know.
bad.
She pepped up my answer. She made it.
Yeah, she
real.
stole your answer and made
was
it better.
teamwork.
Guys, there's a couple more here, and we'll figure out who the winner is.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. A couple more. Ready to hold them up. What is compound interest?
Oh, I know.
Compound interest.
I mean,
Go ahead, Laura Padrino.
to compound is it grows. Interest is what we were just discussing there. So it's
Okay.
just
So bring it all in. Land the
interest,
plane.
Interest compounding interest that grows over time.
Well done.
Okay.
It's interest on interest on interest on interest. And Einstein called it what? Tell me what Einstein called it.
Compound interest.
Nice try. Amber, nice try. That's true.
You asked a trick
What did
question.
Einstein call compound interest? Well, compound interest. He called it the eighth wonder of the world.
Is that right?
It's your money on money on money on money. So respect to you. Point, Padrino.
I never heard that.
Okay. Here's one Nat should get.
No,
all right.
no.
What does, ladies, hold up your things if you know it. What does,
You know the rules.
I don't know. Sometimes you forget.
Adam really hard to know the answer.
All right. Ladies, remember. What is compound interest? What do you call it? Compound interest. All right, next one. What does ROI stand for?
Me.
Amber hit it first.
She did.
Return on investment.
Return on investment.
Good job.
Amber,
Good job.
punto. Well done. Okay. Ladies, there's two more.
Okay.
By the way, real quick, Humberto, do you have what?
What?
Aspen, you got two more left. You got to
I'm just
give us a
kidding.
current
Get your
rundown.
head in the game. What are
Actually,
you
don't say
doing?
it yet. Don't say it yet because you'll do the cumulative score. We'll see who wins at the end. Don't say it yet. Okay. One I think is pretty easy. One is pretty tough.
Oh, no.
Let's do the easy one first, and we'll end with the tough one. Okay.
Okay.
Someone tell me what the definition of net worth is.
I know this one. I know.
Padrino, I think you were first.
Yeah, she was.
Net worth. Net meaning all of it. Your worth between your real estate, your savings, every single thing that you own, every single asset
Yes.
accumulated is together is your net worth. So it's
Okay.
the sum of all of the things that you own.
You're missing one piece. You want to add on to this?
Without any. Is that what you're saying? That
You tell
without
me.
liability, without your debt, it's just
Bingo. All your assets minus your
Minus your
liabilities
liability.
equals your net worth.
there you go.
There it is. Congratulations. So it's all your financial assets minus your liabilities. Boom, that's your net worth. All right, this is a tough one, guys. If you know this one, be pretty impressed. Okay. Tell me what the term EBITDA
Oh, me!
stands
I
for.
just learned this.
Oh, shit.
I just learned this. Okay, EBITDA is it's the amount a company makes before anything is taken out of it.
Okay.
And it stands for.
Oh, wow, if you get
It
this.
stands for. Okay, let me write it
Oh,
down.
wow.
B.
I'll even
and-
spell it for you.
I know
Yeah.
it's EBITDA.
EBITDA.
Yes.
Wow. Nat, if you do this.
Okay. EBITDA. It stands for
feel like it's a-
expenses. Is
I feel like we're at the spelling bee. Can you use the word in a sentence?
E is expenses.
Go on.
Invest.
I'll give you the first thing.
Investments.
Earnings.
Earnings. Oh,
B.
earnings
B.
before interest, taxes, deductions. What's the fuck is the
A.
A? A.
The word we keep saying?
No.
Assets? No, it's not assets.
It's a real estate term.
Yeah, it's.
Ask Amber what the A stands
No,
for.
I never heard of this word.
Okay.
It's earnings before.
You had it all.
Interest, taxes, deductions, and something else.
It's a very complicated word if you know real estate. It's an A word that they use in real estate.
I don't know the
It
A.
stands for, ready? Can I give it to her, guys?
No.
Can she still get the point?
Yes, we're still going to give her the
Okay,
point.
give her the A.
Yeah.
The A stands for amortization.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll just take the point.
All right, so EBITDA
Shout out
is...
to Robert Orwork. We just learned this.
This is how companies determine profitability. It stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. But by the way, give a shout out to Nat for knowing what EBITDA is. Accumulate
Shout out
the
to you,
points.
Robert.
Robert O'Rourke? My guy.
We literally went through this week.
Go ahead, accumulate the points. Let's see.
All right.
Was Aspen in the lead or who was? No,
No, I'm just happy.
All
to
right.
Be here.
I'm just happy to be here.
Go ahead, give us the
I'm just happy
rundown.
to be nominated.
Sarah, 1 point.
Sarah, good job.
Sarah!
Aspen. Laura.
Great city in America.
Laura, 3.5.
Wow.
Amber, 1.5.
Nat.
Nat would have had 5, but the chat said it's no double point, so she has 4 points.
Oh.
and she wins the game.
Wow.
She gets $100.
Give it up for that. See, there it was. I said geography and math are not Nat's things, but
Apparently
she's...
finance is.
By the way, I just get a round of applause.
Thank you. You're that
was
shot.
the opposite of a standing ovation. Shit. But by the way, my credit card is not really linked with my debit account, so I don't know how the $100 thing put.
You gotta go to the ATM and give her a crisp 100.
No,
He
grab one off
actually
the
doesn't
table
have any
unless you're
debit
telling me
cards
those are
right now.
fake.
I'm actually,
Oh yeah, that's
I'm actually
right.
super
Take it out
impressed.
of his check.
I'm actually super impressed with Nat, and I'm gonna definitely make sure she's paid. Respect to you guys. Last story, and then we'll get to the happy ending. This is not a financial story, but this is, finance meets romance. This is a romance question, but this is probably one of the more trending topics in the world right now. I want to know what you would do here. So we all know what happened with Will Smith and Jada, at the Oscars not so long ago. Chris Rock, the slap heard around the world. But slowly but surely, stories are leaking about what the hell's been going on in this wild relationship. It's been pretty much proven, it's undeniable, she had a relationship with one of the kid's friends, the rapper August Alsina. She was dating that guy. All this going on. He had been dating whoever, whatever, doing whatever, all sorts of weird stuff. But these allegations out there, they salacious. By the way, do you have this video of this guy? So Will Smith's former assistant, he goes by the name of Brother Bilal. He's coming forward claiming that he full-on witnessed Will Smith and a fellow actor by the name of Dwayne Martin, who was in movies back in the day called like Above the Rim. I think Tupac was in that movie back in the day. Dwayne Martin engaging in full-on sex on a Hollywood film set. Brother Bilal stated that there was a Will. They were looking for him to be in the dressing room, in the green room, or basically on set. He found him in the green room, and what he said was pretty shocking. He says, and there he was on the couch, and Will was bent over on the couch.
Oh my God.
And Dwayne was standing up, killing him. I mean, just
Your face.
murdering him. It was a murder in there. So they're calling this King Richard, which is the movie that he was in a year ago about Richard Williams, Serena Williams, and Venus Williams' parents. They're saying that King Richard, has gone inside the rim, not above the rim. So
that was low-hanging fruit. I thought that was
insane.
coming.
So play the clip, and then I'll ask you guys a question on the other side. See if you can play this clip and the headline of what happened with Will Smith. I'm not confirming or denying this. I'm just saying, when there's smoke, there's fire. Go ahead, my friend. We got to hit volume. Hold on.
Oh, it's at the bottom. It maybe.
Yeah, start it over and hit the volume.
Best friend of 40 years. That's
Yeah.
a bad friend.
Yeah, for real.
All right, where's the volume? Guys, hold on.
You see the hundreds of celebrities that I've done business with, done things with. And during the latter
Turn it
years
up.
of our relationship, Will was not my friend. I was his friend. I was around before they had Trey. Jada was the woman that everybody wanted. And Will needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had a small dick?
Oh, I am saying to you, if a woman
Fast forward a
is
little
used
bit.
to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a PO, so I could tell you what goes on the inside.
Right there.
Everybody else is just speculation.
Somebody told me I made my pictures in the book. Your picture's in the book and your name is in the book. So you're doing some real elegant pictures.
Right,
I'm
so they
blowing
know
you
each
up.
other.
I
That's
love
what
that.
they-
I'm
yeah.
blowing you up.
This is what Jada makes the new people do. And I ain't gonna say new, they probably been there after myself, right? They will make you check into a rehab. And they'll pay for the rehab. Even though you're not on drugs, they're gonna pay for the rehab. And you have to go if you want to work with them. And then I've saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game.
Turn it
so
up.
3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too, so I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. And I'm like, yo, kind of fuck down. Like, I'm trying to find this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Oh,
Damn.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him, murder. Murder. It was murder in there.
Oh gosh.
Doing his friend dirty.
Anyway, it was murder scene in there. Rest in peace. Will's anus, apparently. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know if this is true, if this is not true. But this dude who has apparently been best friends or tight with Will for 40 years, to come out and say this, I mean,
You think that gives it credit, or it doesn't?
Let's just be safe to say they're probably not friends anymore.
I hope not.
So let's just understand that there's probably a vendetta here. So I'm taking this with a grain of salt. But at the same time, to come out and say a story like this, you're not only making Will your enemy, you're making Jada your enemy. Dwayne Martin is your enemy. By the way, Dwayne Martin was a dude back in the day. He was an actor, and I'm pretty sure he's married to Gina from Martin, whoever played Martin's wife. I think that's who he was married to. I could be wrong. By the way, if you Google Dwayne Martin wife, pull that up, pull the image up, pull the wife up.
I don't know.
Because I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Dwayne Martin is.
No, well, we can't see your phone, sweetheart. We got we got Humberto's doing this. So
thoughts on this?
Here's what I want to know. We'll just do thumbs up, thumbs down. You look like you're itching for the trigger. Based on all you know right now, hold up your thing. Remember, I don't want to tell you again. Green if you think it's true. Red if you're like, hell no. Ready? Green if you think it's true. Red if you're like, hell no. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
No, I have a longer answer.
So I'm doing in the middle because
Guys, no, there's middle shit.
No middle.
At the end of the day.
No middle. It doesn't matter, but just your opinion.
I don't know.
Hold it up, Nat, or you're not getting your $100.
It's okay. You're still gonna buy me something worth $100.
No, not hold it up.
We're going out.
So you don't think it's true. You think it's what? So you think it's true. You think it's true. You think it's true. You think it's...
I do agree with what you said. Where there's smoke, there's fire. That I don't think maybe all the way. But what I do think is the saddest thing is this is, I think, the furthest fall from grace. Like, a few years ago, I know I'm older than some people here.
Yeah.
But he was as big as it gets.
As big as it
gets.
gets.
The highest paid, the biggest deal, the biggest every single thing, all the movies. And it is so tragic what has happened in 1 year, from the slap to all the stuff Jada's talking to that they've actually been separated for the last 6 or 7 years to this now.
So basically culminating with a murder scene.
With a murder scene. I mean, this is as fall as you can fall, and it is like as far as you can fall, and it's just so stinking sad and tragic. And I honestly, when that woman was like reacting like, let me process this, she probably had him in that high regard. Like, for the community and the black community, he was a very big deal. So you're talking about, that was a dagger for her, like, ow.
Yeah.
Like, that is our guy, and he just did that.
And here's where I think you're spot on. It's not like people are now like, yo, fuck Will, he ain't shit. They're just like,
we feel sorry
not
for him.
Will.
Not again.
No. He was my guy. Fresh Prince back in Philadelphia where I was born and raised in the playground. So I used to spend most of my days chilling on Max and relaxing on cool, trying to hang out outside of the school. And then a couple of guys showed up. They were up to no good. Trying to start to make them over in the neighborhood. Got one little fight and my mom got scared. She said,
you were with your auntie and your uncle in
there
Bel
was.
Can you imagine?
Now there's a murder scene.
A murder scene.
In Bel Air.
From Bel Air to murder.
Thanks, Padrino.
I agree with hers, but I feel like it could be true. There was a podcast one time that I was listening to of like Jeffree Star, and he was saying that there's a lot of people in like a lot of like big male celebrities that are on the down low that he's had like relations with, and he was like, I would never drop any of these men because that puts me in a terrible position. But like rappers and athletes and stuff, like they're curious and they're interested, and he said he's had relations with. So like I don't doubt that it could, and
Another
no
thing
shame
I
too if that is the case.
That's true, because once you get so high up and so untouchable, because the fact is you hear that and you're going, seriously, dude, in the dress, like you kind of thought you were going to get caught. One, you either think you're untouchable, it's not going to happen, or you've done everything else and it's like, I'm just bored and curious, or I've got so much, as the next thing.
No.
Adam, you
I don't
get
give a shit how much tail dude, I'm drowning in pussy out here. I'm getting so much.
I need to go around.
I'm out here. It's raining pussy everywhere I go. So you know what? Time for some D.
Murder scene.
No, that's not how it works as a guy. Just not.
So you're thinking he's been gay this entire time?
I'm not even saying he's gay. I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I think
He's interested.
I do think that there's a level of just like, you go psycho when you're that big and you're that rich and you're that famous. I'm not saying it's
That's
for
why,
real.
I don't know if you know this, but the book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism, this is weird. This is a weird, basically, analogy. But, you know, any guy out there, or a girl for that matter, that's read Stoicism, it basically how you deal with the pain and hardships of life, and what goes up must come down, and whatever you're dealing with today, just deal with it, you know, put a smile on your face, and this too shall pass. And even if you're at the top of the world, you'll get knocked down. If you're at the bottom of the world, there's only one way is up. But what Marcus Aurelius would have is he would have a slave
behind him,
or a peasant walk around him at all times and basically remind him, this could all be taken away. You ain't shit. You're not above anybody. And just constantly reminding him, you're just a man. And you too will die. You know, the Zero Hedge, which I hosted a debate with them last night, this is basically their slogan, if it matters. They said, on a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everybody drops to 0, meaning we're all going to be dead. So Marcus Aurelius had a slave. So if you're Will Smith, and I'm not saying that he has some ridiculous ego, he doesn't even strike me as that person. It's just that, like...
But I think the other thing is we just don't know. Like, we have a picture of what we think these people live and how their lives are, but...
True, we don't know.
They live 6 years separated or something. There's probably a lot... And mind you, this was a couple, I remember this interview very clear, like, very vividly. It was years ago when they were married. They said... divorce is not on the table. It's not an option. It's not a word we use. Like, that's how I had them in mind. And then all this comes out and they haven't been living together, or they've been separated or something for 7, like, again.
Would you advocate a divorce in this situation, even though in the eyes of God you don't agree to divorce?
Okay,
there's a murder scene going on here.
One, there's a mocking tone in your voice that I don't appreciate. And 2, okay,
that's just my tone in general. I have a sarcastic tone.
The fact is, all of this garbage, yes, would I advocate for that? They obviously haven't had a marriage for a long time anyways. So that's like a different story. I'm not saying be shackled by marriage and don't get out because this is a different case, and you know it very well.
Okay. But guys, this actually wasn't my biggest question. We're not TMZ. Okay, I'm not trying to break any news and get your opinion on whether it happened or not. I'm setting the table for a conversation. Promise me, this is a hypothetical. You have to raise your thing. You have to. Okay? This
$12 we have to use.
Would you rather? I'm not saying I condone cheating. None of that. But if you found out your significant other was cheating, if it was a man or a woman, what would you be more
mad about?
Comfortable with? We're gonna use green. Okay. We're gonna use green for a guy, red for a girl.
More comfortable with?
Meaning you're probably not comfortable with either. Matt.
What do you think? You just find out your husband's gay.
Okay.
Are you?
All right. What are you gonna hold up?
Green.
Green for a guy, red for a girl.
Is this
do you know how to hold up the stick?
Yeah, which I'm more comfortable
with your significant other cheating on you with.
If you want your
green for a guy, red for a girl.
Would you rather your man suck dick or?
Hold on. So you guys are more comfortable
with a girl.
You guys are more comfortable with the red.
If my husband is straight or my husband is gay.
So guys, here's the deal.
Because then you got to compete with a
God
man.
forbid you ever get caught cheating.
Oh gosh.
Just say.
It was a guy.
At least it wasn't a guy, babe. Okay?
At least it wasn't with a man.
Ew.
I see how you did that.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You see what's happening right here.
Yeah.
Things could be worse. Yeah. How could you bang her? Disgusting. Can't believe you would cheat on me with that slut. It's like, well, it was either her or her husband. So I went with her. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
I'm glad we're on the same page here. Not condoning cheating. But gentlemen, if you're going to cheat,
Just make sure it's with a woman.
Make sure it's a woman.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Go to church.
Guys, it's been an awesome show today. A round of applause, everybody, for an amazing show.
One time for Nat, because this is
Yes.
one nice panel of sophisticated
Yes.
ladies.
This
So
is the
one
best
time-
show
said
I've
money,
been
I
on
was
with
like,
you
oh my God,
guys.
money.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, listen, guys. You know, we say this is where finance meets romance, but we want to kind of do just as much finance stuff as romance stuff. And I think we did even more finance stuff today. We had a financial intervention here.
Yes.
We basically tried to make sure that Sarah finds herself a sloppy old rich guy, but she said no. Okay.
No, we don't
We
want
found
that.
out that Amber is happily married. Her husband's right here. There he is. There he is. He's smiling. And Padrino, you're 2 for 2. You come on here, you dominate. But the MVP today was Nat.
Was Nat?
You did great. Even up.
Everyone give Nat a thumbs up.
Nat. Everybody do me a favor, put
Thanks,
a W
guys.
in the chat for Nat today.
Someone said rare W, Nat.
Yes. Put a W in the chat for Nat. Nat knew what fucking EBITDA was.
That was very,
There's a 99% chance that you didn't know what EBITDA was
that's
out there.
right.
Okay?
that was very impressive.
So respect to you, Nat. Nat, anything that you want to address, that you want to tell people before we go to the happy ending? I mean, you just became the EBITDA Queen of America here on the SOSCAST today.
No, I love today's episode. I was excited when you said we're going to really do money. I wanted to get ladies on here that we could, teach things to. We can have other ladies on here also share experiences. And also I wanted to have you also be to see your skills and your way of also teaching. To see that even interaction of this is what I would do, this is how I would do it, and why. I think that's important because our audience today, we're living in time of high inflation. So first off, I appreciate you all, for coming. I love when you ladies come and join the show. And shout out to you, Sauce. Great episode today.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Oh, and then shout out to you, Robert O'Rourke, for teaching me EBITDA. Shout out to you, Robert. I wouldn't have done it without you.
Well, hopefully everybody learned something today. I think that, we've done enough content of like, what's your body count, bitch? Like, I know that, but I think I care more about what your net worth is and what you're doing for society and what you're doing for your family than what you're doing in the bedroom, whether it's a murder scene or not. Other than that thing.
It's murder.
You might have me back if that's the case.
Okay.
If it sounds more like this. Less
You like that?
Less baby alien, more interventions, and actually.
We did Baby Alien last time.
Oh, it was ratchet.
scary.
Everybody has a jump the shark moment.
Don't Google it. But no, like.
And they got married,
education.
by the way.
No.
Stop it.
But education,
Yes.
like she's like wanting to be better. Like this is good stuff.
Good.
This is what the world needs more of. Sauce.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah,
Very
with the little sprinkle of sugar daddy talk in there. It's
Yeah,
exactly what they want to see.
we're gonna do some money stuff for sure. We'll sprinkle in some
No
sugar
drugs.
daddy stuff. We'll make it rain. Maybe a murder scene or two. You never know. Pop culture finance is really what it comes down to. By the way, Will's worth like $350 million, so he's gonna be all right.
You know what?
But we'll see. Anyway, time for the happy ending. Let's start with you, Laura, and we'll work our way back around to Amber, and we'll end with Nat. So it's the happy ending. Here's your chance to look into the camera right there. Boom. Give your biggest takeaway of the show. Plug what you want to plug. Padrino's in the house. Go for it.
Right here.
There you are.
Biggest takeaway from the show today was really talking to the youth here and talking to them about their finances and how to just get better and do better for the future. Loved that. And the plug is Padrino's Cuban Restaurants. We have 5 locations, family owned and operated. We are a collection. We are not a chain. Please stop by padrinos.com and on Instagram, Padrinos Cuban. So
Awesome.
Thanks for having
my
me.
friends in South Florida, my challenge to you, my request to you, go visit Padrino's. Say hi to Laura. Tell them Saws sent you. Tell them Valuetainment sent you.
I love it. Thank you.
And you'll get a free order of Platinos.
Okay, let's do that.
I don't know. Give them something. What do you want to give them?
Yeah, let's do that.
Free dessert. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? What do you want to do? A mojito?
Whatever you want to do. Whatever.
How
A
about
free drink.
A mojito?
It's up to you. When they get there.
Mojito.
Say
know.
Sauce
Mojito.
sent you. Say Sauce sent you, and you'll get a free mojito.
Honestly,
If
from
you
South Florida, go to Padrino.
If you don't drink,
Okay.
get an app.
There it is. But go support the people that support you out there. Anyway, shout out to the 2 youths over here. The 2 youths. Thank you for helping the youth. Sarah, my young youthful friend, looking for a hubby.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway on today's episode, and where do you want people to find you?
My biggest takeaway is that I need to continue educating myself on my finances a little bit better. A lot better. This is my favorite episode I've been on. It was nice. It was good. It was fun. We laughed a lot. You guys are always a good time. And yeah, that's it. You can find me on social, Sarah Elizabeth Wilt. And if you need social media management for your business or you want to learn how to create and sell digital products, find me on Instagram and I'll teach you.
There she goes. One of the other two Utes out here. By the way, name that movie, The Two Utes.
No. Oh, that's My Cousin Vinny.
Oh my God, this girl. She knew My Cousin Vinny. We wrapped Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and we're getting Cuban food after this.
Nice.
Bueno trabajo, chica. Okay. So Aspen.
Hi.
When do you leave?
I leave in 2.5 months.
Okay. We promise to come on the show again before you leave. Okay. Before you leave.
This was definitely my favorite episode so far.
Thank you. I'm happy you had a great episode.
Thanks. I like the smaller group.
Okay.
I do too.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, good to know. I appreciate that.
It was better.
What was your biggest takeaway? Where can people find you?
My biggest takeaway was, I'm 23 now. I need to get my debt and all my finances in check so I can have a successful and stable and happy life. I don't want to be in debt or broke. It's terrible. It sucks. So if you can follow my Instagram, Aesthetics with Assie. Watch me post my fitness motivations and grow my personal training.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Aspen getting a financial intervention today.
I needed it.
Before we go to Nat, Amber Quinn, congrats, respect,
Thank
great
you.
job. Your husband's here. You're doing awesome. You got Section 8 housing. You're helping your parents. You're doing your thing.
It's Miss Amber.
You were the front runner for the financial game, but Nat beat you.
I know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I brought her. We're together.
That's true. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway in today's episode, and where can people find you?
So I think my biggest takeaway today definitely was just remembering to always educate yourself and never stop educating yourself, because there's always something you can learn, which even in our game, I was like, pretty confident. I was like, I need to do some more studying. So you can find me on socials on Amber Quinn Official everywhere. And if you have any questions on confidence, coaching, or even credit, make sure you check out my socials.
Ooh, the 3 C's,
I like
confidence,
that.
coaching, and credit.
That was good.
I'm a big alliteration guy.
Yes.
Alliteration is, A, B, C, that. Or maybe SOS.
That's not.
No, it's not.
No.
No. I get it. With 3 words. I know what alliteration is. Great job. Anyway, Nat, the MVP of today's show. You brought all the ladies. Yay. You brought the honeys. They got the monies. You got it going on. I owe you $100 now. Nat,
Yay.
What was your favorite part of today's episode, and what do you want people to know about you?
Believe it or not, I think my favorite part of the episode was watching you kind of do that financial lesson with Aspen. I think that was very important, because for the audience to see, how do you help somebody who's a different age than you, a different gender than you, but you also have some sense of insight of the future and experience, without it being demanding and making you feel like, it's an intimate conversation, your finances. So to watch that kind of interaction, I would say that was one of my favorite parts. And then my always favorite part is, when we have amazing guests, and you guys came today.
Great job, Nat.
Yeah.
Round of applause one more time for
Great job, guys. And then do you want me to do
Humberto,
chats?
thank you for being here. Oh, yeah, do you want to get that
Yeah,
done?
let me do the chats really
Go
quick.
ahead.
Shout out to you guys for super chats today. We have Alex. He said, Adam, respect to you and PBD. 700 CS max out our IRA. Known debt, 25K liquid, earned just over 100K
Nat,
year
move the
working.
camera out of your, there you go.
80 hours a week. He's 6 foot, in great shape. I outsource some tasks in my life to buy back time, but need solid guidance, investment.
Find me on Manect, buddy. You can find us on Manect, myself, PBD, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, the whole team out here.
And then
find us on Manect. Manect is an app that we created where you can connect by the minute, pay by the minute, with experts and financial leaders and business leaders for advice. So if you're DMing people like, hey, man, need a minute of your time, you can find them on Manect and get your questions answered. Yes. So for experts out there, if you're an expert and you want to actually monetize your expertise, you can sign up for Manect and people will pay you for your time. But if you want to get advice from experts, there you go right there. Myself, Tate, PBD, Tom, Tristan, Vinny, Sammy the Bull Gravano. Who else we got on there? My guy Dustin. I don't know. There's a great Michael Francis, Justin Waller, Aaron Singerman. Great app. Check it out. And get some advice in your life. Continue that.
And then he finished off, he had another chat as well. He said he's been debating between limiting my tax burden off almost 25% through investment properties or investing into a business. But time is a factor after work, gym, and reading books, podcasts. Appreciate your input from ND. And then we have Mies. He says Nat is 10 out of 10. Beautiful young lady. Shout out to you.
Yeah, Nat.
That's right.
MVP. For the gentleman that did the super chat, give him his name again.
His name is Alex. Shout out to you, Alex.
Alex, shout out to you. You can find me on my neck, and we can actually process these questions. Hard to do at the end of the show here, but we did read your super chat. We do thank you. You do have important questions. Humberto.
Thank you. Great show, Adam. Shout out to the chat. They were incredible. Every poll, we were on the same page. Savages. And that's pretty much it. And if you have 12 cakes burning in your pocket, let's save Aspen and keep her in Miami. That's it. 12 cakes.
He's like, no, I want to go home.
Yeah, I want to go see my mom.
You can send it to Sarah to save her.
You can pay back your credit.
Thank you. Anyway, most importantly, shout out to you guys out there for tuning into the SOSCAST every week. We do this Tuesdays and Thursdays, but next week it's Thanksgiving, and we're doing a special Tuesday Thanksgiving episode. And Thursday, we're just going to sit back, relax, and eat turkey and have the time of our lives. But thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys liked today's episode. It was a little bit more money advice, a little more financial advice, business stuff. But we also had awesome, lovely women here on the panel showing that they are more than just pretty faces. They're business women, they're mothers, they're fitness gurus, they're traveling Europe.
Marketing.
Yeah, digital marketing and traveling Europe, having the time of their lives. Nat had to run out, but she'll be back in a little bit. Guys, thank you for being here. Don't forget to sub to the channel, like the video, so that more people like you get financial help and also relationship help. But thank you for being here, and don't forget to save that money. We're out. Peace out.
It's the SOSCAST, baby.
That was awesome.
That was so good. Huh.